afternoon. Sorry, I took a bit longer today for the starting soon, but hello! Stop talking about burgers because I've been craving burgers for a while. I'm also craving chili cheese fries. That shit sounds so good right now, you don't understand. It sounds so good. Anyways. Cries like Donnie in that one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show where like it's the one where like the animation's really nice and like the futuristic. Which one is it? Hold on. Is it Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I think that's the one. Is it this one? Yes, this one. This one. Now let's see, Donnie is kind of just, it's going good, how are you? It's like one where Donnie is like doing an interview. He starts going, hold on, I need a moment. He starts sounding like that. Dude, this is like my favorite Donnie. Like out of all the Donnies in the season, like in every like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I've seen, this is like my favorite Donnie because I don't know. Well, going well, I got calf. Oh right, she's out. I haven't even played Honkai yet. I should download it, huh? Oh right, I can. Genshin runs really well on here too. So I don't think I'd ever be able to stream it because I'm nervous to stream it because I don't know if there's stream mode from what I've seen. So I'm gonna have to like create areas of where I need to block off so my UID isn't showing or anything. But yeah. maybe just do a stream where I catch up on Genshin because I am really behind. Like I used to be caught up in the shit. Now I'm really behind because I kind of just gave up on playing Genshin. Because I only played Genshin when I was in school because I didn't have anything to do. It was senior year, I had nothing to do, and I was just sitting in the library. So... But yeah, today we're gonna continue our life step 4. I am gonna be on a kind of a tight deadline. In 3 hours, I have my Valorant event. So, hopefully, it doesn't do anything. Your voice actually sounds... Dude, I'm telling you now, my voice changes every stream. I don't even know what I sound like in real life. Am I this low? I don't know. Am I really this low? Am I this high? Am I this high? Am I this low? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't... My voice changes every stream. I'm like a voice changer. I really don't... I don't know. I feel like I sound the same. Maybe I'm just a little bit more energetic today. Granny... Oh. Hello. Oh wait, not that. How does Granny sound like? Hello, dearie. Welcome to the stream. Hello. Hello, beautiful blossoms. Today we're gonna be playing Our Life. It is a wonderful game where we have been dating this lovely man named Cove Holden. What a lovely man he is. So very lovely. So kind and generous. He cares about our feelings and knows and knows how to handle us accordingly. I can't wait to find out what we have today. Let's see what happens in our adult life, shall we? Might as well have fun, play every single one. Love's a game, they all mean it. Chosen to snoring. Excuse me? I forgot what it's called. Where's my window capture? There we go. Sorry, it's blocking my face. Don't worry, I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Don't freak out or anything. Okay. Am I too big? That's what she said. Anyways. Let's finally see where our love style... Oh, wait, the music. Let's see where our love styles continue. Load. I'm glad I can load up the old file that I just had. Here we go. And so, your days growing up in the living cradle of Sunset Bird came to an end. In the years that passed since graduation, you'd moved out of your childhood home and made your way into the world. You lived alone, lived with COVID and the pet you picked. Ooh, let's hope we have a cat. They could be best buds. And you co-owned a business with Cove? Yo, let's do that. In the art industry, yeah. Your family members went through the same kinds of leaps into independence. Liz and Lee both eventually earned Man, I was trying so hard to hopefully not stutter the stream. Fuck. Both earned degrees and started fantastic careers in new towns. But your mom's and Cove's father still lived on the same street as they had for all those years before. It was comforting to you that there were some things that remained in the old neighborhood. And despite the ever-changing reality of your adult life, your friends were still your friends. Though, of course, things weren't exactly the same for them either. Very recently, Terry publicly came out as a man and switched the spelling of his name to use a Y instead of an I. Oh my god! That's amazing! I'm so proud of him! Oh. He also confessed his love. I knew it! I fucking knew. I knew they were gonna end up together. I fucking knew it. Oh, I fucking knew it. They were meant to be. I sensed it. My love radar was sensing off. I knew they were gonna end up together. I knew it. Alright, I knew it. He also confessed his love for Miranda, which she excitedly reciprocated. There we go. They moved in together recently in the city out past Sunset Bird. Derek was busy as always, but doing well. He always made an effort to keep in touch, and you even saw each other in person occasionally. One person who did disappear into the shuffle of memories inside your mind was Baxter. After his vacation in Sunset Bird one year, he was just gone. That was a loss you felt. He had become someone you'd considered a friend during those days. And then there's what became of the sad little boy you grew up with, Cove Holden. Your deep affection for him was something that continued to last unabated over the years. Commit to each other even more someday. Oh my god, wait, should we be engaged? Should we be engaged? Oh my god, wait! Wait, chat, okay, do we want to rush this? Or do we want to take the time to get there? Which one should we pick, chat? Obviously, I'm not doing this. Fuck this. A relationship where there's no change. Nah, we gotta hope for the future. What should we do here? Which one? Oh god. Oh shit. Oh my god, that was one awful iPad cough. I'm so sorry. I need water. Hold. Which one? Which one? Which one? Also, is the music too loud? Please let me know. I can't tell whether or not if it is. You know what? I kind of want to see where this leads to. Because if we got engaged, that means I missed Cove proposing. Why would I want to... He truly thrived in his continued efforts of cultivating loving and supportive relationships with his family and friends. His personality had changed, become more reserved, though not all unkind. Cove was a gentle, loyal, considerate man who took the lessons he learned over the years to treat the people around him with patience and understanding. When Cove eventually developed a picture of the future he wanted to have as an adult, you could see where he was coming from based off his past interests. Cove decided against pursuing a degree and focused fully on building up a career. He worked with you in your shared business, naturally teaching surf lessons on the side. He still volunteered for Orca when his workload allowed it. As an adult, Cole was able to recognize and have diagnosed that he was on the autism spectrum. It was something that hadn't been noticed by his doctors as a child, but he was still the same Cove he always was to you, and he was just glad to understand himself better. Wow, dang, this game is awesome. It goes into like really good topics that many people don't really like acknowledge. I really like that. This game is really nice. It thrilled you to see how happy and successful he'd grown up to be. On the whole, life continues. Life continued its steady beat forward, and you all went with it down. Oh my god, down the path you chose. It was strange and wonderful. But no matter how old you got, how far you roamed, or how long you were away, the home you had in Sunset Bird still called you back eventually. Summertime, yes. Hold on. The car rumbled down the highway. You had started to zone out when a truck in the left lane loudly zoomed past. Your driver didn't remark on it, just like anything else this trip. You went back to staring out the window, letting the scenery pass you by. You did appreciate the spacious backseat of your ride. You hadn't known exactly when you'd be coming in, so you had decided to use a ride app rather than ask your mom to pick you up. It had turned out to be a convenient choice. You looked forward to surprising your parents at the door. You smiled at the thought of their faces lighting up. Luckily, this hadn't been that big of a trip for you. You lived close enough that the travel hadn't turned into a big production. However, that didn't make the occasion mundane. Mundane? For once, your parents had decided to have a modest celebration dinner for their anniversary. Unlike when you were growing up and they preferred not to make a big deal out of it, this year, they were comfortable having a party. As time went on, they had found being the center of attention easier to handle. You were happy to see it. With this going on, there was no way that either you or Liz would miss your mom's anniversary. Both of you made plans to come back home for it. You didn't hear from Liz about her exact schedule, but you hadn't shared yours either. It reminded you when you were kids and you both knew how to show up for dinner, but didn't keep each other in the loop for each other's pre-dinner plans. This was the same concept after all. Some things stayed the same, and yet it was definitely different from when you would see your sister every day and knew some sort of what she was doing anyways from osmosis. Today, you had no idea. Things are always changing. You muse on how at times it was hard to believe you didn't live with your parents anymore. And yet, you always couldn't imagine going back and living as a kid under their rules. The rest of the drive flew by. Your silent driver provided a smooth ride. No sharp turns or sharp stops jolted you out of your own head. Oh, excuse me! Sorry. Your thoughts turned from introspective to observant. The landscape passing by became more and more familiar. You frequently recognized the landmarks that dotted the area. Oh, I'm burping. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Bless you. Thank you. A grin came to your face as you passed the now entering sign for Sunset Bird. Excitement built with you. You were really here. You were doing this. Your driver turned off on a street, and you realized that their map program was taking you the way home that Ma preferred. Usually would have used the other side street to pass by the beach. In no time at all, the car had gone through the whole town and pulled in front of your mom's condo. The car slowed to a stop and parked. With the buzz of the highway gone, you realized that you could hear the familiar sounds of waves. Waves. The air smelled like salt, and a rush of childhood memories flooded back. You started to gather your things and humming to yourself once more about how happy your moms would be to see you. After that, you notify everyone else that you'd made the trip safely. You pulled over your suitcase from the other seat and yanked your bag from down near your feet. Tap, tap. You started you startled at the sudden sound of the tapping of glass. It caused you to pause. Did you really hear what you thought you did? You weren't entirely sure because you soon heard something else. The window of the opposite of the car rolling down. It confused you until you put it together that despite the driver's silence, you weren't actually alone in this car. The driver must have pressed the button. Someone had to be there. You turned your head to face the now open window. Oh, he's so cute. There he was, leaning his arm across the window. Your beloved Cole Holden. He beamed at you with his precious open. It's so cute. Look at him. Look at him. It's the thumbnail chat. It's the okay. Hey Mlem, welcome home. I was wondering how long I'd have to stand out here for you to make it. It's been a while, you know. Cove! At the sound of his name, he burst out laughing. Look at his smiles! This is why I can't play dating games. He then gripped the top of the car door and pushed half of his torso through the ceiling. Oh wait, through the opening. That was enough to make the driver break their silence with a gasp. Hey! Cove did not seem to notice and continued climbing in through the window. He pushed one hand down the middle seat to prop his dangling body up. Bro! What? What the hell? He used his other hand to caress your cheek as he leaned in as close as he could. I missed you. Kiss on the lips. He enthusiastically reciprocated. The arm holding him wobbled at your touch, and you could feel him smile under your smooch. He was clearly struggling to avoid falling onto the cushion. You pulled back just a little to get a better view of his face. Okay, now get out of the window, you crazy person. I should have expected this, you and your windows. I promise this was unplanned. I know, still doesn't make a difference. Cole's smile turned awkward, and as his arms started to bend lower, causing his body to slide downwards with it. He turned his head to the driver. Sorry, I'm always causing trouble in this neighborhood. Cove shifted around some more and squirmed back the way he came. After he had successfully pushed off the window and landed on the pavement with a thump, you opened your car door. Oh my god, how rude. He didn't even open the car door for me. Oh, no, I'm kidding. You threaded your arms through the various straps of your bags and climbed out. Cove took a few long strides around the back of the car and quickly met you on your side. The muscle shirt. My little bro came in, sorry. He was doing a freeze ray. Cove stood in front of you and it struck you that two of you were back in Sunsetbird, reunited once again on the street. Friendly punch. You held your hand out for a high five. Jumped into his arms! Put the luggage down, because why would I hurt him with my luggage? You dropped your bags on the paved road and got a bounding start to leap into Cove. He caught you unsurprised by your action. When you were situated, he leaned back on the balls of his heels and fully lifted you off the ground. His goofy grin let you know just how much he was enjoying your enthusiastic embrace. He didn't have a problem holding you up, as his especially large height allowed him to lift you well off the ground. With one last swing, he let you back down. You really were ecstatic to be around him again, and absolutely thrilled that it was here in this town where you were together. Even if it had only been a short time since you had seen him off, you had still missed Cove greatly. It somehow felt a lot longer. Given your different schedules and travel availabilities, oh my god, Jesus Christ, hello! It had worked out better for Cove to head out to Sunset Bird first. He only arrived the evening before, however, and secured the hotel room. Until now, you'd never had to deal with the inconvenience of being in a tourist-heavy area. It was a fight to get a place to stay close by during the heat of the summer vacation season. He's grown so much, I know, and look at how attractive he is. I decided to give him a different haircut this time, because why not? Who doesn't like the side-swept hair? Like, oh, look at him. Look at him. Don't you think his hair looks sexy pushed back? Insert Mean Girls quote. Living without him at your place was strange. Cove was basically a part of you at this point. You were glad to feel whole again. The fuck? Colin, are you at my door? What the? Golly, you fucking bitch! You're by my door! Stop. I can't get up or it's gonna fuck up my model! Are you still right there? I can see your shadow on the door. My sister's trying to scare me, guys. How rude. Oh, are you and Cove engaged in the game? Not yet. I decided to take the route where I kind of want him to propose. So... You either shifted your luggage, then it struck you that you were short. Gala, you fucking... Shut the fuck up! Why? Just open the door already, you fucking bitch! This girl is making grudge sounds to scare me. This girl. You either shifted your luggage, then it struck you that you were short one. You got out in such a hurry it was left behind. You reached back into the car and pull it out. Cove stood aside as you made a dash for the door. Oh my god. You shouldered the small bag and felt relief that you would be able to brush your teeth tonight. Got everything this time? You stood up straight, everything truly gathered up and out of the car. You gave the backseat one last glance and then nodded. Cove shut the door after you had moved out of the way. The two of you stepped off to the street to give the driver some room. Cove waved. Grills. Sorry again. The driver said nothing and drove off. With the road clear, you let your gaze drift across the neighborhood that you had known forever. It was such a small place to spend so many days. You were flooded with memories of going up and down the street during every stage of your life. Being a little kid, following your big sister to the playground, becoming a teen and staying out late, and growing into an adult who left their parents' house behind to be independent. You could feel the summer sun on your skin from all the times you headed out to the beach. You saw the same surroundings that you as a young adult did when leaving home. It was hard to quantify the amount of history that you had here. And now, you were back. Despite taking in the neighborhood again, you never lost awareness of Cove's presence. From the corner of your eye, seeing him there was a very familiar sight as well. So many of your memories included him. Your mind drifted from the neighborhood itself to the person who used to live there. You couldn't help the feeling of nostalgia. You still remembered his face, his voice, his scar on his arm from days long gone. He had changed so much since you had first met him. Yet, even with those changes, he was always recognizable. He was familiar like the sky was, and the way you knew the sea. Every day they may appear different, but they're still an inextricable part of life. I always think about that. Like, what this quote, like, you know, we always see the sky, but it's always changing every day. And yet, it's still beautiful. was the world, with help from Mr. Holden and his little thought $20 bill. Oh, ill. Why did I say lil? Ill. That brought you together to begin with, but the both of you had chosen each other. You had never let your interactions fade. You had decided to nurture your relationship into what it was. And you would continue to keep Cove close into all the rest of your adult years. Cove was a partner you wanted for life. You couldn't be more grateful to call him your boyfriend. It would be impossible to imagine life without him. Cove noticed you staring at him after a while and smiled with his eyebrows, raising a curiosity. Oh, don't look at me like that. You're gonna make me blush. Kicking my feet. Twirling my hair. Butterflies. He was very transparent in his question if there was something he wanted to say. You shook your head and returned him a soft expression. You let yourself get carried away in tide of memories. But now, it was time to focus on the present. Ready to go see my moms? Cove nodded and then pointed at all your luggage bundled around your legs. Can I help you with any of that? No, you dropped them. Oh, I would love some help, thank you very much. Have you seen everyone else yet? Nope, I just started the game. You gratefully passed him a bag. It was a lot easier to balance everything with that out of the way. He used both hands to take a hold of the one piece of luggage in Stittle, pleased to be able to provide his assistance. The bag situation resolved, the two of you strolled over to the Blair residence store. You started to pat your pocket and just... Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Like the grudge at my door. I thought it was Scully. Sorry. I had to make sure if it was my sister or not, and it wasn't. It was my little brother. Alright, back to where we left off. You started to pat your pockets instinctively, only to realize that you no longer carried a key to the house. Your eyes scanned the entryway, a little lost, only to spy the doorbell. The thought of having to ring it felt super weird. As you pressed the inconveniently placed button on the side wall, you remember that no matter how much this place would always be a home to you, it wasn't where you lived. Being back here was like putting on a uniform after you quit the store where it came from. It had remained the same, but your circumstance had changed. Cove shifted on his feet awkwardly, obviously also thrown about you being stuck out there, keyless. You heard muffled voices and shuffled around from inside. Your heartbeat sped up in anticipation. The door swung open, and there was your mom's smiling face. She immediately brightened at seeing you stand there. Mama. Well. Mom twisted her head back and gave a shout down the hall. Lonnie! Guess who's here? There were more distant noises, no doubt Ma getting up from wherever she was to come see. Her high-spirited words rang out clearly. I hope it's one of my children. Mom snickered, still holding the door only half open to hide you for a little longer. Cole flushed as if suddenly realizing that he was going to be present for your mom's enthusiastic welcoming of you. He smiled to reassure him that it wasn't intruding. Ma finally reached the door and peered over Mom's shoulder. It is. Hello, Mom. Ma, she gave you a once-over. Patting the top of your shoulders and moving down the sides of your arms before she nodded in satisfaction that you were in one piece.
How sweet.
This is a wonderful surprise. Ma inclined her head to Cove next, not leaving him out either. Hello, sweetie. You count as one of my kids at this point anyways. I have double the surprise today.
Yeah.
Oh, his voice. His voice is so cute. You snorted at your mom's greetings. They never changed. Cove bashfully waved at them. He hadn't relaxed fully, but he had settled down at their welcome. Well, don't just stand out there. Come on in. Your mom moved aside and held the door open for you, gesturing for you to enter. You stepped into the living room. It was comfortable and cool. Cove was a half step behind you, his eyes on a new painting your moms must have added since the last time you were here. Things are mostly the same, but there were more decorations since you had seen in the house last. Mom may have gotten the urge for some interior designing again. It struck you how odd it was to be the guest, only observing their choices for living space here, rather than a full-time occupant. Ma came up in front of you, excitement in her eyes. I'm so glad you're here.
That's fine.
You know your mom and I would have been happy to pick you up, but you're self-efficient and responsible. That's okay. What matters is that you arrived safely. Mom appeared at her side with a nod. Welcome back, kiddos! You appreciated that your parents respected you as an adult, even if Mom called you kiddo. You figured long ago that you'd always be her kiddo no matter how grown you became. It was part of the whole parent-child deal with her. Hug! You took another step forward and pulled Mom and Ma into a big hug, squeezing them tight. Their arms wrapped around you in return, and you could feel their love for you in their embrace. I wanted to surprise you. Oh, well, you succeeded. Your timing was lovely. It's always nice when I'm able to come by. Your mom's giggled, pleased. I hope you've both been doing well. Is everything set up for your anniversary dinner?
No problem.
We're happy to help if there's something we can do. We've been plenty fine. It's been a little quiet, but that's not a bad thing. Mom placed her arm around Ma's shoulder and gave her a side hug.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the party. We're just planning to eat at the suppress nothing fancy, which is kind of funny thing to say about a pretty fancy country club. The biggest issue has just been making sure everyone could make it for the day. Speaking of which, Liz will be arriving tonight. We're planning on picking her up later. I guess Liz isn't as grown up as Mom. Mom snickered at her own joke, and Ma slightly elbowed her with a barely hidden grin.
Shush.
As I was saying, we could drop you off wherever you're staying if you don't mind waiting for that. I'm sorry there's not space for you in the house. It's gotten crowded in those old rooms since you and Liz moved out. I don't know where all this stuff keeps coming from. Sure you don't, Pamela. It's okay. Cove already has a hotel room. I'm gonna be staying in anyway. Cove sent you some pictures of the place when he arrived. Stylish and roomy. It seemed very nice. I mean... He claimed that the bed was comfortable, so you had high hopes about that, though mostly you were looking forward to him next to you as you slept once again. Your mom smiled, relieved. Kyra's already here, isn't she? Kyra? She directed her question at Cove. He bobbed his head a bit to go along with the reply. Yeah, I heard she made it. She's gonna be staying with Dad while she's in town.
Oh.
Have you gone over to say hello yet? Cove chuckled self-consciously, and this time he shook his head. You raised an eyebrow, since you had figured he would have taken the chance while waiting for you. Not yet. I should go do that now. I just want him alone to be there too. He caught your eyes with an adoring smile. Mom laughed at that, no doubt thinking that Cove was sweet, but ridiculous.
Oh, nice.
It's nice to know your priorities. Yeah. Cove awkwardly rubbed his arm and shifted on his feet, looking all too much like he did as a kid.
So?
Lem, do you want to go over to my house now? That's a good idea. We won't be leaving until late evening. You heard, Ma. Let's go see your parents. Cove perked back up, excited once more. We'll keep an eye out on your things while you're out. There's no reason to be carrying all that around. You set your bags down in the living room, tucked into a corner where they wouldn't be in the way. Cove helped. Your moms waved the two of you off as you walked back to the entryway. Thanks. See you soon. You waved back and opened the front door for Cove. With that, you were on your way to see Cove's family next. This trip put a special little pep in Cove's steps as you crossed the street to his dad's house together. Your spirits were equally high. Doing this, you felt like a teen again. You had known Cove's parents for a long time now. When it came to what you called his dad, I'm still gonna call him Mr. Coven. Mr. Holden. At this point, you couldn't imagine calling him anything else. Despite it being formal, it rolled off your tongue naturally. For his mom... Mom 3. I feel uncomfortable calling someone else mom. She always preferred that even when you were still just a kid. Honestly, you couldn't imagine calling her anything else. Cove hopped up to the front door and didn't bother knocking. He twisted the knob and swung it open. With a grin, Cove gave you a gratified thumbs up. He shook her head in disapproval, but you both knew that you hypocritically supported his behavior. Your dad's lucky we aren't criminals. He brushed her comment aside and went right into his old home. Mr. Holden was there, standing in his kitchen and babysitting a pan on the stove. Mr. Holden, hello. His head turned at the sound of footsteps. He brightened instantly at the sight of both of you. Cove matched his enthusiasm instantly. If it was anyone else, you would have thought he was lighting up with a childlike joy over seeing his dad again. But since you knew what Cove was actually like as a kid, you were aware of his level of happiness with Mr. Holden was definitely not equivalent to any childhood feelings of his. Dad! Cove! Mr. Holden gracefully pushed what he was cooking off to a different burner and flipped the heat off. He rushed over to both of you. Cove flew forward and met him halfway in a hug. Cove squished his eyes shut and held his dad in a tight hug. Mr. Holden smoothly rubbed his son's back. The more of an adult Cove became, the more he turned into a big daddy's boy, it seemed. I missed you. I missed you too. It was sweet, and teasing aside, it was wonderful to see them at this place in their relationship after years of struggling to connect. When the hug broke, Mr. Holden hooked an arm around his son's neck. He let out a deep laugh. Still can't believe you outgrew me. I really thought I had that on him after he graduated from high school, but then he kept going. Chuckling, he shook his fist in mock anger. Gosh darn kids! Cove ducked his head and laughed in kind. Sorry, Dad. Cove's cheeks turned pink and averted his eyes. He was becoming bashful, so you knew that he had more he wanted to say. Cove softly added. But I was raised really well. His dad instantly crumbled with emotion. He sniffled. Cove put her arm around him too, tugged him into a side hug. You observed their little reunion fondly, happy to let them enjoy their moment. They were a perfect pair of sentimentality. Mr. Holden eventually turned his attention to you.
Hey.
Hi, Mlem. Great to see you. He pulled away from Cove and approached you with a little wave. He was back to his cheery self. It's nice to see you! Should I offer him a hug? Do you think that's comfortable, or should I offer him a high five? Arm pat? I feel like a hug would be the more safer bet. A hug? Okay. You... You went to him with your arms extended and a silent, "Is this okay?" question in your eyes. Mr. Holden pulled you into a big hug without a second thought. There was a quiet sniffle. I miss seeing your face around here. Thank you. Mr. Holden cleared his throat, pulling attention to himself. He crossed his arms. But before we get too carried away, it's not a real reunion yet. Kyra's still in the guest suite. I'll go get her. He eagerly bolted down the hallway, and you could hear every step he took. Ended with a distant knock. Kyra, they're here. It was only a few seconds before there was the sound of a door being yanked open, and the pounding of feet of the wood floor grew even louder this time.
My baby.
Oh, hand him $20. My baby! Next to you, Cove let out a nervous laugh. His parents entered the living room, and Kyra stretched her arms out wide, then spotted you both. Cove went to her easily. A big hug! She held you both tightly in her arms, and you squeezed her back with nearly the same intensity. You felt loved. Cole wrapped his free arm around her too. He rested his head on top of hers and let out a happy sigh. After a moment, Kara let go and pulled back to get a better look at your faces. She surveyed every inch of them and appeared satisfied. You're both looking well. That's wonderful. Just what I like to see. Oh. And hi, Mom. I missed you, Kyra. She let out a happy sigh. Her head tilted just a bit to the side. I missed you too. Kyra put a gentle hand on Cove's arm and gave him a small squeeze. Her gaze moved between the three of you. I missed all of you quite a bit too. So, what's new? How have you both been? Kyra gave a nod for Mr. Holden to go first. Cheerfully, he waved a hand.
No worries.
Oh, same old, same old. Still got the shop, still got my friends and family, of course. Still, the most exciting thing around here is seeing who'll rent the one free condo. Incredible. I always knew you were such a snore. They snickered, and you couldn't help but peek at Cove. He rolled his eyes dramatically, drawing out a few giggles from you. The whole time, there was still a happy smile fixed on his face. For me, things have been good. I've gotten a lot of interesting assignments lately. Oh, I recently went to Seattle, and Kyra twirled a strand in her hair shyly, and her mouth curved into a grin. Whatever she was thinking about made her happy. Things have still been going well with that guy from work. But it's a little early to bring him all the way out to California to meet the family. Cove crossed his arms, and he and his dad nodded. It was clear she appreciated the acceptance from her two boys. Yes. You had a thumbs up to keep the... Wait, okay, I don't have a... You guys can't see, but as I went yes, I put a thumbs up. I put a thumbs up. I went yes, and then put a thumbs up. You added a thumbs up to keep things light. Her smile widened, grateful for your gesture. So that's us. Do you two have plans for your first day back? The only thing I have to do is pick up Liz later tonight before we head back to our hotel room.
Great.
Suddenly, he suddenly looked over his shoulder, his eyebrows put together. I'm glad you're here. I just remembered that I was in the middle of cooking something. Cove. So fine. Only a small cackle escaped you while you fought off the giant grin ticking over your face. Meanwhile, Cove erupted into laughter that he had his dad shaking his head. That's fine, Dad. Go salvage what you can. I think it'd be nice to explore the old neighborhood for a while anyway, since we've got the time. Cove directed the last part to you as he spoke, hoping that you'd want to go with him. You nodded automatically. You're already looking forward to it. That's a perfect idea.
Makes sense.
I think so too. You should go enjoy your day. I'll hang back here so I won't be at third wheel. And someone's got to keep an eye on Cliff before he catches the whole kitchen on fire. Mom, you're not a third wheel. Cove stiffly struck his arms against the side like a child. A small smirk tugged at Kyra's mouth. She winked. You know what I mean. Have a good walk. I'll see you both later. Cheerily, Mr. Holden waved before going back to his cooking. Cove smiled warmly.
Bye.
Bye, we'll see you soon. Cove trailed behind you as you walked into the welcoming summer sun. He stopped, closing his eyes and stretched his arms in the warmth of rays. Satisfied, Cove gave you a bent smile and dropped down low to the ground. You knew that this was your chance to get a piggyback ride. Cove suddenly awaited your answer. Excitement bubbled in your chest. Cove always knew how to make your day even better. You always know just the right thing to do. Cove hummed in agreement while you climbed into his back. When you both had a secure grip, he stood up. The movement bounced you more than usual. Chuckling into Cove's hair, you were pleased to enjoy another afternoon of your favorite mode of transportation. Under your hand, you could feel the vibrations of laughter of Cove's chest. Let's go. Oh. Naturally, you found yourself heading down the road towards the beach. Your spirits rose even higher as you strolled across the sand, heading for the shopping district. Arriving, you wove past tourists who were taking in the sights for the very first time. Being a local was a badge of honor. You wore proudly. Oh my goodness. You casually walked past the shops. Over the years, some had closed down, but many of the stalls were still exactly the same as they were when you were little. There was something you planned on saying, but the look on Code's face made you pause. You watched incredulously as Code's attention laser focused on something in peripheral. As the two of you went down the stone area, his gaze stayed parallel with what must have been a stationary object. Then, when his head couldn't turn any further, he stopped in a place entirely. You were brought to a halt as well, since you were still on his back. Sticking your head out to the side, you were finally able to see that the subject of note that has captured his opt attention was a pretzel stand. After a moment's silence, oh, I can't say no to that face. Oh, wait. Am I able to? Wait, hold, wait. Mwah. After a moment of silence, his puppy dog eyes were swung back to your face with a cheesy what the fuck? How do you say this word? Wishfulness. Cove whispered a few small words. That could have been us. I love him. He's so adorable. It's not too late. Really? I better ask my dad about how to get a license for something like that. He knows business. Sounds like a plan. We'll be following the pretzel plan in no time. Cove chuckled at your willingness to play along. This was a joke that never died. But seriously, did you want to get a pretzel? Yes, I do. The one that comes with the little frosting cup? That's right. You shared a fond smile with one another. It held a level of second nature comfort that really didn't exist anywhere outside of the almost lifelong relationship between you and your former neighbor. Somehow, all you ever had to do was simply be together in the same place, and it was special. Cove showed you how strongly he felt the same when he started to become visibly bashful. He plucked up enough nerves to keep the conversation going, though. So, hey, do you think they'd give me more than one frosting cups if I asked? I don't know, Cove. We'll have to find out. With that, you changed course to the pretzel stand for a snack. Cove was very pleased, but by the morsel he picked up, and that was good to see. The sun arched across the sky as you went up and down the road as a pair. By the time you returned to the beach, the day was beginning to fade into the night. Cove kicked his shoes off, tossing them into the sand. He wanted to get his feet wet in the waves as fast as possible. Join! Splash! Boom! In seconds, you had your feet free and your shoes abandoned in the sand. You kept going until you were ankle deep in the water. Cove sighed contentedly. He followed his line of sight into the setting sun, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. It really feels like summer now. He wore a bent smile when he turned to you. The light illuminated like a halo behind him, and the sight took your breath away. In fact, it's hard to think of anything that feels more perfectly summer than moments exactly like this. Being here at sunset and Sunset Bird with you. So glad we were able to come visit. I do like our living situation now over just being neighbors, but still. You hummed in agreement. Your heart fluttered the moment you met Cove's eyes. Your mouth lifted into a pleased smile. I'm happy too. The rays of sunlight glittered on the water, mesmerizing you. You couldn't help but feel like this was exactly where you both belonged right now. Cove murmured quietly, losing himself in his thoughts again. Shortly after, you saw his hand shoot down into the sand. He stood straight back up with a lopsided smile and got to work brushing the sand off of his prize. You knew without a single word, Cove found a new shelf for your collection. As you wandered down the beach, Cove followed at your side in comfortable silence. Your shadows stretched across the sand like they were leading the way. The only noise you could hear were the soft footfalls of your feet and the waves gently rocking into the shore. For a moment in time, it felt like there were only two of you in your own little world. Eventually, a bubble popped when you realized that your phone was going off. It was Ma, hoping that you were going to be back soon. His curious face is so cute. Curious, Cove's eyes slid down to your phone. You let your hand fall back down to your side. You held the phone pressed against your palm of your hand. It's Ma. She wants to know when we'll be there. Cove scratched the back of her... Cove scratched the back of his neck and shook his head. His mouth twitched like he just had a funny thought. Dang, parents. Oh, dang, parents. Always trying to make us come home before it gets too dark. It's like we warp back into being little kids the moment we step foot on this entrance sign. Cove's nose crinkled in fake disgust, and you both burst into a fit of giggles. It'd be nice to not have to worry about bills again. Sometimes. After one last glance, you put your phone away. Again. Cove gave a small shrug. Ready? Yep. Let's go. Together, you left the beach, feeling a call of home pulling you forward. The both of you ran off towards your mom's house, leaving the waves behind but welcoming the beginning of summer. Cove and you wrapped up from the beach, sand flying from your steps. Cove made it to the road first, but you managed to catch up to him by the time you reached the house. It wasn't exactly a race, and yet it wasn't not a competition. Yeah, okay. Both of you were laughing by the time you bumbled through your old front door together. You inhaled deeply and shouted loud enough to be heard anywhere in the house. We're here! Your moms were seated in the living room. Their eyes sparkled as they locked on you and your light dusting sand.
Hello.
Welcome home. Mom leaned forward, eyebrows raised at your jubilant entrance. Ma sighed wistfully.
Aww.
That brings back memories. Cove chuckled shyly as he scratched the back of his head. I hope we're not too late. Nope, you're just in time. You better start packing it up. Liz will be waiting. Ma nodded as she stood up from her seat. She lightly ran her fingers over her clothes to smooth out the wrinkles. It took you a second to remember where you had put your stuff. You need to get it all in the car so you could get everything back to your hotel. Can I help? You shrugged and directed him to your bags. With Cove, your moms, and yourself on the job, it only took one trip to the car to get everything. Cove firmly closed the trunk and you thanked everyone for the assistance. Of course, kiddo. Come along, Blythe family. Let's get in the car. That means you too, Cove. You know you're essentially family anyways. Thanks. Exactly. Well said, Lem. Cove climbed to the back seat with a decidedly touched expression on his face. He got on the other side. When everyone was situated and buckled, the engine was started and Maul pulled out onto the street. He couldn't help but feel amused to be stuck in the back seat with Cove. Your mom's driving you around. It really was like you were little kids again. Cove caught you staring at him and he gave you a bent smile. He was probably on the same wavelength as you from the sheer mischief in it. There was some light chatting on the drive. No one brought up anything too deep, and it mostly became a swapping jokey stories. The entire trip was marked by a heavy sense of anticipation. Everyone was ecstatic to see Liz and hear what she had been up to. When you're near the airport, Mom pulled up her phone to call Liz. Mom followed the signs to the correct pickup area and asked for you to shout if you saw your sister. Yeah, Liz. We're at Wing B. There's a blue sign that says North America.
All right.
Tell her that we're right in front of the building with blue windows. She says she's outside, right by a yellow truck. I see at least 3 yellow trucks. I think we're doing work at the airport. The back and forth continued, with Ma driving around in the wide, circular airport road while Mom attempted coordination between her and Liz's location. Aha! You leaned forward, peering out of the car. A tall, poised silhouette pulled a pale purple roll-along suitcase behind her. It was definitely Liz. She waved to the car. Ma parked along the sidewalk next to her, and Mom put her phone away with a cheer. Mission accomplished, team! Ma excitedly reached over to grasp Mom's raised arm, thrilled that both of her kids were back.
Good job.
That's right. I'm sitting uncomfortably. Liz came closer and yanked open the door beside her. She popped her head into the car, her smile ornery despite how tired she appeared. It must have been a long trip for her, yet her expression was the same, familiar smirk that you had grown up with.
Hey.
Hello, children. I'm back. Hey, old grandparent who doesn't have any kids. Oh! I mean...
Rude.
You shouldn't speak to your elders like that. Hug! You quickly unbuckled and then launched yourself at your sister. She wrapped her arms around you and squeezed. Well, hi to you too, kiddo. Hello, sweetie. It's nice that you're here. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. He jokingly huffed at her. We're not children. Whatever you say, baby boy. She turned her gaze back to Mom and Ma. You really know how to make someone feel appreciated. Her spirits were high. You could tell she was just as happy as to be here as everyone was to see her. She left the door open and ducked out to walk around to the back of the car. She opened up the trunk and lifted her luggage in. I'm gonna move your junk, Mlem. I'll keep it in front of my bag so you can get it later. Mom's dropping you off first, right? Yes, but that's not junk. It's important. Excuse me? For a while longer and it'll become comfortable after a while. I don't think so. I think my body will just... Bleh. Liz slammed the trunk closed without responding. Liz swung around to open the door. You noticed that her hair had a few flyaways, no doubt from a long day of traveling. She leaned against the frame of the car, giving you and Cove a significant look. I'm not sitting in the middle. I already had 5 hours of that nightmare on flight. There's no way I'm getting between the two of you. I mean, really, who would ever want to be the person pulling Cove, Holden, and Lembla apart? Oh, look at his little flustered face. Oh. So cute. Cove puffed up indignantly. There we go. Yet again at her classic tease of your relationship. Let's continue along like she didn't notice.
So?
I don't care how you decide who's scooting. I figured you could figure it out somehow. Cove glanced over at you and shrugged. He unbuckled his seatbelt and moved to the middle. It's okay. Growing up, it was normally me and Liz putting you in the middle of things. True. Ah, memories. With the window seat open, Liz squished herself into the car and shut the door. Everyone was settled. Ma began to pull out. We're off! Liz crossed her legs, compacting herself slightly. She braced most of her weight onto the door again beside her instead of sitting straight up. It gave her a little more room. Hopefully we finish the journey. This car is almost as old as we are.
No.
And it's still just as good as you are. So complains Blem. So complains Mlem. Oh, okay. I got it. Mom turned up the radio as Mom merged onto the highway. The station was familiar, the normal soundtrack for when she had driven you and Liz around town. Liz bounced in her seat, enjoying the classic tune. The song could be old enough to vote at this point if it was a person. That was hard to believe. With Liz, the conversation livened up, despite it getting later and later in the night. She told you all about her week and all the travel preparation she made. By the time she'd made it to the actual tale of travel itself, Liz started chuckling. On the plane, Liz sat next to a couple of girls who talked a lot about how well they could read people. Liz recounted their conversation with her in hilarious detail as they had apparently tried to guess her occupation after only shaking her hand. Neither of the girls could agree with one another, and Liz had refused to just tell them. However, the drive to your hotel was only so long. Eventually, your group arrived. You yawned and got out of the car when it stopped. Cove clambered out after you. Liz gave a loud sigh of relief at all the extra space she had found herself with. You and Cove grabbed the luggage and then waved off your family after you said your goodbyes. After they left, you and Cove went to go find your room. You scanned the keyboard to unlock your hotel room. It sounded out a soft beep and you turned the handle of the door. The door creaked open, then you craned your head in to take a look. Oh my gosh. The first thing you noticed was the large king-size bed in the middle of the room. It was prim, modern-looking space. It seemed clean and smelled faintly like floral air freshener. The smile played on Cove's face as he watched you take in the space. That's nice, huh? Which one of us is gonna use it? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I want to share, really. Good. Cove let out a breath in relief that he'd been holding on to. I got a good hotel, didn't I? Yeah, you picked out a nice one. Cove smiled like a big, pleased puppy. Oh, he's like a little golden retriever. Where can I find a guy like him? Ah! You and Cove continued to chat as you settled in. You unpacked some of your stuff and checked out all the rooms and amenities. Cove pointed out the mini fridge and started puzzling over what food could be ordered up to the room. However, the fact was you both were exhausted. It didn't take too many yawns before you both changed into pajamas and called it a day. You had to hunt along the walls to locate the light switch. When you finally found it, you flickered it off with a sense of triumph. So cute! You turned your head over to Cove, who stood behind you in his pajamas. He was cozy and comfortable, but the pieces didn't match. You never minded that. We should get some sleep. Cove smiled, a soft expression that was adorable.
All right.
Despite saying that it was bedtime, Cove took a step forward towards you, wrapped his arms around your back, and you leaned into his embrace. Then he lifted you off your feet. What? Still not putting you down, Cove promptly dropped himself backwards. The both of you crashed onto the tight, tucked sheets of the hotel bed. He laughed the entire time. Cove bounced on the landing and absorbed most of the impact. You laid on his chest, feeling a little jostled. An absolute madman. Let's do it again. You shook your head jokingly. His laughter turned into a snort. Oh! He smiled up at the ceiling, a thought clearly crystallizing. My dad used to do that kind of thing to me when I was little, sort of. Nostalgia was clear in his voice. It was a fond memory, and you felt something warm in your chest. You made a small noise of understanding that turned into a yawn. When Cove yawned in return, you pulled at the sheets until you were actually under the blankets. Do I know why pigeons are called pigeons when they're actually doves? What the hell is this? Okay, I don't know what this is, but I actually want to know. Cole blinked at your random tangent. You yawned and continued talking, your sleepy brain happy to them. Pigeon actually used to refer to a young cheeping bird, not a species like it does now. Cove nodded along as you continued, seeming interested despite the random topic. By the time you finished, he was watching you intently. Let's kiss his nose! You rolled and propped yourself on your elbow so that you could give Cove a quick peck on the nose. He beamed back at you, obviously enjoying his goodnight kiss. He wrapped his arms around you and snuggled next to you. He let out a contented breath. You reached out to hold Cove under one arm and then used your other to hand comb through his hair. Both of you relaxed into one another. You knew neither of you would want to be anywhere else. Can't believe we're really here. You and Liz and everyone else are going to be here in Sunset Bird again. I was staring at all the scenery going by while we were driving here. It honestly felt like we never left. He ran a hand down his face. I mean, in some ways, it feels like it's been ages and everything's different. Some of that is definitely because I'm staying at a hotel instead of being in my room at my dad's. But yeah. It's exciting. Cove nodded. He understood completely. I'm looking. A yawn forced an interpretation into the statement. Cove was undeterred. What? Why I have not... Okay, I have not read any of these words. This is what happens when I don't read. I'm looking forward to this. He tucked his head into your neck. Oh! You felt his lashes flutter against your skin. I'm so glad I never got into fan fiction because I think I'd go crazy. Same here.
See you tomorrow.
His words were a whisper you barely heard. It might not even have been exactly that exactly. You might have just been guessing. Cove always had a habit of mumbling. It was okay either way. Whether you heard it or you thought you heard it, the sentiment was true regardless. Cove would see you tomorrow when he opened his eyes and the sunlight returned to your hometown of Sunset Bird. You comfortably drifted off to sleep and eagerly awaited seeing Cove tomorrow as well. Your eyes gently opened to see dim and unfamiliar ceiling. You recalled where you were, a hotel room. Yawning, your muscles felt relaxed and warm enough that sleep threatened to pull you under again. Morning. Cove's voice brought you back to consciousness. The heat made you sense now. You knew the comfortable weight against you was your boyfriend. His arms were draped around you, and his fingers were lightly drawing shapes on your pajamas. You twisted over to face him fully. Morning. Did you sleep well? I did. The expression on his face softened with a content sigh. Oh my gosh. You felt his index finger lightly trace the shape of the heart. There's nothing good but good there's nothing but good dreams when you're around. Adoringly in your arms. Let's snuggle! Pushing into him, you squeezed your face into his chest. The air knocked Cove's lungs out of had a light chuckle. Cove closed his eyes. His hands found the middle of your back again, and he held it there, enjoying the closeness of the moment. Neither of you were making any moves to get up and actually start the day. It was sweet and comfortable to be wrapped up in Cove. You could indulge in just a little while longer. Eventually, enough time flew by that there really weren't any minutes to spare. Thought there were too many people waiting, so you both crawled out of the sheets together. Standing up, Cove took a few steps to stretch. He glanced over at you with an animated expression. I'm really looking forward to your mom's anniversary dinner tonight. It's gonna be fun. I think so too. This whole trip is great, actually. Being here with everybody is like having another chance at being a kid. We could do all the stuff we used to, and all the things we never did, but wanted to. Yeah! Cole's mouth curved into a bad smile. He tossed a pillow at you, and you caught it. Should I be worried about being thrown out of town or worse? Worse? Scolded. Laughing, you squeezed the pillow against your chest. You shook your head. That can't stop us now. Well, we better get back to it, huh? We got a pretty full schedule ahead of us for your mom's big day. You smirked. So much for being a kid. So many responsibilities. I don't think seeing our friends really count as responsibilities, Lem. Fine, you got me there. After that, you and Cove moved around each other, busily getting dressed and ready for the day. Light laughter and chatter filled the air the entire time. Bags were packed and phones were sought after. You suddenly tossed Cove his phone when he hadn't been able to find it. You handed Cove his phone when he hadn't been able to find it. You saw... What the fuck? As he stepped past you? You somehow lost a single sock. But Cove found it behind... You shook your head at Cove when he ran a hand through his hair instead of brushing it. Yeah! Oh, look at that! This expression has got me folded every time. I am about to fold. I'm folding. Cove peeked at you at the corner of his eye. He combed through his hair slower this time, entangling a snarl with his thumb. Yes? Wanna borrow my hairbrush? Nope. The brush was still out from you fixing out your own hair. You grabbed it and dangled it near Cove. His fingers were curled deep in his hair, working out another knot. He made no move to take your advice, so you shrugged and left him to his methods. No! I could have brushed it for him! There was nothing else stopping either of you now. In minutes, you were hopping into your ride and heading back to the neighborhood. It was another beautiful summer day in Sunset Bird. You couldn't resist rolling down the window, so you could absorb it all during the drive. Cove sat across the seat from you, near the opposite window. His gaze was locked outside, catching all the old landmarks the vehicle was passing. Your spirits rose even higher the moment you made it home once more. Eager, you hopped out of the car and let yourself inside. Your moms knew you were going to be there that morning. But the second you made it past the threshold, an excited scream nearly scared you out of your shoes.
Hi.
Oh my god, Lee's hair! It's so close to my hair. Wow! Oh my god! I love your new hair, Lee. You look amazing! Mom, you're here! Guess what? I'm here too! While your heart rate settled, a broad grin quickly took over your whole face. Since your cousin moved out on her own, you noticed that she'd really found her own groove. She was still the same bold, loving person she'd always been on the outside, but expressed herself in new ways. Lee was strong, kind, and smart. Over the past few years, she graduated college with a degree in history. Though the last you heard, she was pursuing her dreams, working towards getting into the music industry. Lee! Excited, you shouted as loud as she did. Lee hugged you tightly, nearly knocking you off your feet. Lee leaned to the side to glance past you and meet Cove's eyes. The grin on her face widened while she waved. Hi, Cove. Hey, nice to see you, Lee. I got him practically at dawn. It was the whole thing. But at least I made it here alive. Lee exhaled and slumped over her shoulders to emphasize how exhausting the ordeal was. Behind her, Liz had made her way over. She crossed her arms at the scene. I'm here too, in case you were wondering. Nope. I'm always wondering if you're there somewhere. Liz's lips twitched around before twisting into a smug smile. She brushed a stray out of her face. Hey. It makes it sound like I'm always following you around. I have a life of my own and you weren't aware, if you weren't aware. I know, but when I'm home, I'm always keeping an eye out for my big sister. Old habits. How sweet. I miss the old days of checking to see if someone else made it into the TV first, too. You laughed. Of course, that's what her mind would go to. Another friendly shout rang out in the living room. It was as cheery as it was from the many times you heard it over the years. Good morning, family. Your parents both came out of the side hall together. Morning.
Well,
now that everyone's here, I do have a little something to mention. Ma put her hand lovingly over her wife's, leaning her head into Ma's with a matching affection. We're also having dinner together, but Pam here actually made plans to take me out to brunch to celebrate our anniversary. Just the two of us. Pleased, she hooked an arm around Ma's waist. Sorry to push you out, but I'm sure this group of mature grown-ups will be able to entertain themselves for an afternoon. We don't need to find a babysitter or anything.
Totally.
Yeah, have fun, moms. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. We can survive that. Easy. Enjoy your brunch. This works out, actually. An afternoon open means that there's time to meet up with Terry and Randy. Hopefully they're free today. Your two school friends you still live around. They knew you were coming for your mom's party, but when or how you might arrange to see each other wasn't in store. Good. Definitely. We should call them.
All right.
I have some people I'd like to say hi to as well. Liz had her cell phone in hand, ready to get her plans made before she was even done speaking. Excuse me. Arching an eyebrow, she then directed the next part at Lee. Would you want to come along? We missed out on a lot of cousin bonding time in the past.
Yeah.
I'd love to! It'd be an honor to hang out with you, Liz. I hope you both have fun. Don't worry, fun is my specialty. Chuckling, Liz smirked. We'll try not to have all the fun. Don't get into too much trouble. You shook your head and Liz winked. She then glanced back at her phone and rapidly typed a new text. Excellent. It's settled! She squeezed her wife's hand. Her gaze took in the whole room, ecstatic to have the house full again. Today's going to be perfect.
Yes.
I think so too. I truly couldn't be happier with my wife, my children, and our whole beautiful family. It's already a wonderful anniversary. There were awes and sweet comments from the group gathered around the couple of hours. Seeing how your moms were, you couldn't help but hope that when you got to be their age, you could be as proud as your life as them. But Ma's attention then fell on you, and the look on her face twisted mischievously. A shiver shot down your spine. This is a very good time of year for a marriage, don't you think so? With snickers, all eyes eagerly slid over to you and Cove. Shocked at her implication, his cheeks turned red. There was no missing the meaning of Ma's words. She was clear as a bell, and she knew it. Ran late to plan you'd been creating. You had been making moves in that direction. You whenever quote agreed with Ma's words, and you'd hopefully waiting for a night. Your mind leaped for at those words. It wasn't something you'd planned on, but maybe she was right. You realized recently you were happy with the relationship you had. He better be asking. He better be asking. But you stared straight ahead, trying to conceal the marriage thoughts spinning into your head. The last thing you wanted was to pressure him into acting before he was ready. Yes, that's not a good thing. If you're pressured into engaging, like getting engaged with someone, it's not gonna end up well because then you weren't prepared for it in the first place. Like being told, oh, you should engage this person. Like, why aren't you engaging them already? Like, why didn't you like propose to them or anything? Oh, I think it would be great if you proposed now. If someone has to tell you and you do what they told, I don't think it's gonna go well. It's always good to do it when you're ready, because you know you have all the time in the world. You have all the time in the world. Just do it. Just don't take your precious time though. Just don't take your precious time. Time it out accordingly and be prepared. And yeah, I mean that's a pretty big step to like propose to someone. Like that's a huge step. It's crazy. I think if I were to get proposed to, I might cry like on the spot, or I'd run and be like, nah, you're lying. This isn't real. You're funny. But you stared straight ahead, trying to conceal the marriage thoughts spinning in your head. The last thing you wanted to do was to pressure him into acting before he was ready. You caught Crove shyly rubbing at the slight scar that was still visible on his arm. Oh, it's okay. His stuttering never quite reached full sentences. In the stunt turned into silence. Cole's brain was shutting down. Maul had sympathy for him.
There.
You don't have to say anything. It's just a little thing to ponder. At that, Cole's mouth snapped shut. With a stiff nod, he creakily glanced at you. If it was only the two of you here, you got the impression he would have had something to say. For now, a meaningful look was all there was. Right then, let's get back to what we were doing. After that, you enthusiastically began setting up plans to meet up with your friends. They were both able to come see you. Having kept their schedules free for this, you couldn't wait. Cove was also speedily sending text messages. Since he conveyed the plans to Terry and Randy, you imagined that he was letting his parents know about what he was gonna be up to. Oh my god, it's gonna be a double date! A double date with Terry and Randy! Pug! The group continued to chat and catch up until it was time for your mom's brunch and your big meetup with your friends. Soon enough, everyone was out the door, looking forward to their fun-filled afternoons and dinner later that night. Once outside the neighborhood street, you looked to Cove. He stood at your side with a bent smile. Terry and Randy were driving into town while you and Cove were traveling on foot to meet them at an easier-to-reach spot. Man, we really were kids in Sunset Bird again, having to rely on other people who actually have cars to really get anywhere. Now we're stuck walking to whatever is nearby. A snore was followed by true laughter from Cove. Teasingly, you pouted. This isn't funny, Cove. I don't want to be a baby again. I didn't realize you were regressing that seriously. Why is he so attractive? Oh shit, hold on. I gotta rethink about my timing of everything. What's my timing of all my stuff? When did I say I was gonna do the event? Because I don't want to accidentally. Okay, 8 p.m. EST. Okay, I might just join them after I'm done streaming. Okay, sorry. I have to make sure I don't accidentally overlap any timings. Also, I've been reading for quite a while and my jaw is starting to hurt. This is what happens when you don't talk much. Because I'm starting to lazily talk, and it's like slowly becoming a lisp, and it's not good. He shrugged and stuck his hands in his pocket. The thought of being little again made you shiver. I couldn't go back to that. I like being me currently.
Me too.
I like current. Why you say it like that? Oh. Oh. Got me blushing and shit. I like hurting you too. Let's go. This guy has a way with words. What the fuck? You bounced forward several steps and shot Cove a playful look over your shoulder. With that, the two of you began your trip down the old road. It was a casual stroll into town, and before you knew it, you were at one of the large parking lots in Sunset Bird. It was the one that used to have the little crepe stall. Remember the delicious smell? You got lost in thought. The store did well enough that I moved into a full-size building a couple of years ago. You'd seen pictures. It was very cute. The parking lot was now just, well, an empty parking lot that cars could theoretically park in. Not many took the offer. Cove pulled out his phone, texting Terry and Randy in the group chat to let them know you made it. Hold on, fixing the way I'm sitting. Okay. Someone must have answered already, cause I'm adjusting myself. Cove gave you a status update while staring at the screen. Randy texted, "I can see you." Oh, Rit! The blare of a car horn cut you off. You and Cove both turned towards the source of noise. One of the windows rolled down. Oh, buddies! Yippee! Your friends had arrived, making a spectacle of it, as expected. The spectacle? Being the only car meant that they got the pick of the lot. So they pulled to the stop in front of me. Oh my god, I can't read. The window closed back up, and instead the two front doors pop open. Terry and Miranda stepped out of the pavement. Hi, Cove! Hi, Lem! With a Terry wave, Miranda skipped towards you. Terry, on the other hand, walked speedily over to Cove, squeezing him into a hug. A quiet laugh escaped Cove, along with the majority of the air in his lungs. He didn't fight the constriction, but instead gave Terry's back a pout, with a large grin spreading across his face. When he looks so cute! When he let Cove go, Terry came right up to you. He held his fist up for you to bump it. Terry nodded sagely. You wiggled your fingers as an added hello. Gobble, lem, gobble, 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 gobble. It felt so nice to have your friend group you reunited as adults. Terry was currently a full-time lifeguard down the busier beach out of town over. You were proud of him. He helped a lot of people in his line of work. Miranda took Cove's hand and one of yours and the other. Her eyes alight, she gave you both a gentle squeeze.
So great.
I'm so happy to see you guys again. Hi, Terry. Hi, Miranda. He answered assuredly. It was clear that he was equally glad to see them. This reunion was long awaited. For a while, Miranda had been working hard as an assistant at a school while continuing her own education. She also kept busy running a small online shop selling crafted knickknacks she made. I missed you! Miranda's expression softened. She gave your hand another squeeze. I missed you a ton. My head's itchy. Hold on. Miranda released her hands, giggling. She eyed you both carefully. So, how have you been?
It's
nice. His voice is so nice.
That's cool.
Excuse me. Oh shit, excuse me again. I can tell you're sparkling. Standing up straighter, you felt a spurge of pride for yourself. You're really happy with where you were in life and where the trajectory seemed like it was taking you. I'm really glad for you. How about you? I'm super! Terry slid up next to Miranda and put his arms around her shoulder. Sighing dreamily, Randy chuckled at her boyfriend. Yeah, things have been unbelievable. He pressed his cheek against Miranda's, and she let out a light squeak. Oh, they're so cute together. The sight of an amused grin on your face. Your friends made a wonderful couple. They knew each other well and cared about each other so much. It was no shock at all when you heard the news that they started dating. The corner of your mouth curled playfully while you took in the warm welcomes all around. At times it was so kind of unfunny how your group of your 4 friends evolved into 2 couples. I saw it coming. Not that you were complaining about it, you thought it was an amazing thing. Cove then pulled his phone out and peeked at the screen. He repeated the motion every so often. You raised a curious eyebrow as unusual behavior. Cove was too focused on whatever he was doing to even notice you were noticing him, which was even stranger.
So...
Is there anything either of you want to do while we're here? Any place you want to see? I'd be up for a lot of things, but actually, there's something that I want to do right here. Oh yeah? What's that? Terry poked at Cove's arm playfully. Miranda met your eye, silently asking if you had any idea what Cove was talking about. You shrugged. I just want to see my friends. Huh? Cove, you're already doing that.
Well...
True, but I could be doing it even more. You and Terry and Miranda all turned to Cove with identical, incredulous expressions. His stare moved to a point past you 3. You heard the scrape of sand and gravel underfoot. Someone had stepped into the parking lot. Startled, you jumped the call of the warm voice shouting over.
What's up, guys and gals?
Holy shit, Derek's voice got deep as fuck. I can't do Derek's voice. Why did Derek's voice get so deep? Oh my god. Bro became... Oh my god. Running a hand through his hair, the person who crossed the lot was unmistakably Derek Cerez. He was beaming the whole way. It's been too long, even though it hasn't been that long, but long enough. Derek! You screeched his name and waved with both arms to welcome him. Bashful, Derek scratched the back of his head. You're here! You're in the flesh.
I missed you.
It's so deep! What? That's so deep! What the fuck? Holy shit. He poked you gently. You were thrilled just being there, reunited with him. Derek was a good friend of yours, and he had been for a long time. Hey. I can't even go... Hey. Oh. Hey guys. Hey guys, how you guys doing? Holy... Oh my god, I've never gotten that low before. Sounds like an old man dying of a deep voice. I don't think I could do that again. I think it's gone. He waved away at Terry and Miranda pleasantly. Over the years, they all had met several times in passing, simply through being friends with the same people. Sup, big man? Hi, it's great you could come. Cove put himself next to Derek. Happy, he clapped a hand on his friend's shoulder. Hi, thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Of course, thanks for inviting me. God, it's so deep. Sheepishly, Cove looked back at you and the others. That's when it clicked in your mind. It wasn't his parents that he was texting earlier. It was Derek the entire time. Derek's in town for a few months to help my dad and his dad with some work. Yup, I'm working on my own business thing too. But I'm still involved with running this scuba shop when it's called for.
Very nifty.
Humming, Derek elbowed Cove.
So?
But hey, we don't have to stand here for my sake. What's the plan? Let's hit the town. my deep voice is so funny. It's just, yeah, my man. Eager to get going, everyone piled into Terry's car. The rest of the afternoon was spent visiting spots all over Sunset Bird, laughing and reminiscing the whole day. Once it started to get late, Terry brought you and Cove back to the neighborhood. You didn't have to walk there after all. You didn't get out until promises were made to each other again before your trip ended. Side by side, you and Cove stood there in the street and waved at the car as it drove away. Terry tapped the horn for 2 honks when Miranda stuck her head out of the window to wave back. He caught Derek in the back window, giving you both a wide grin. Sighing as soon as their car turned down another street, they were finally out of sight. Well, that was a fun party. Time for another. Oh, that was oh, I read that wrong. Well, that was one party. Time for another. Ready to go see your moms? Always. Let's keep the celebration going. You shimmed a bit. You shimmied. Shimmy, 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 ah. Drink, shwa la la la. A bit right there in the street for added emphasis. He looked at you amusedly and rolled his eyes. Okay, hold my hand. Spirits high, you and Cove crossed the distance to your house. It was almost time for the anniversary dinner. You'd barely stepped over the threshold of your condo before Ma descended, eagerly welcome you both. The usual greetings were followed by questions on everyone's well-being, after which the conversation moved on to excited chatter about tonight's dinner plans. Cove excused himself to the restroom to freshen up before being on the move again. Oh, wrong thing. Which one was it? I am looking respectfully. I am looking respectfully now. I am looking respectfully. But in return, you were shocked to see an entirely changed outfit. Ah, he's so fine. He's so pretty. You know, when you returned, you were shocked to see he had entirely changed outfits. What the hell? Okay. Where did that come from? I packed it with me so I could get dressed before the dinner without having to go back to the hotel. Didn't you? Or maybe you have stuff here still at your mom's place? No, Cove. I didn't do that. Huh. But your mom's party, it's at the country club. But that's also where Liz took golf lessons. Not everyone is there in their Sunday best. It'd be different if we were going to one of the club's parties, but we're only going for a regular meal. Cove was befuddled by your explanation as you were with his actions. He threw his arm up, desperate for understanding.
Seriously?
How could you not dress nicely for a country club? I don't think this surprise is as special as you decided it is. You saw Ma. She wasn't in formal clothes. She's one of the guests of honors. Oh no! I didn't say that. What? His frown wobbled and his cheeks became far pinker. He looked down at his own self regrettably as he pulled at the cuffs of his shirt. Oh, like a school's child, like then a grown man dressed for. I thought she was gonna get changed while you and me were. You're such a cutie. Cove could only sigh, fully embarrassed. Cove's eyes stole a glance at the hall as if he was calculating if he had time for another quick change. Unfortunately for him, it was not meant to be. The time to head out came far quicker than you'd expected. Sipping for this whole family right now. Mr. Holden and Kyra swung by the condo to make sure everything was in order. For your second surprise that night, Mr. Holden was also in formal clothes. Cole's face excitedly whipped towards towards yours at the same time Mr. Holden went to Kyra's. The two men pointed out one another. Like father, like son. Wait, that's so funny. They both got like a... See? He knows. Exactly, sport. Kyra was talking to me like I was crazy. The aforementioned Kyra placed a hand delicately yet dramatically across her eyes. Clifford, our son only knows this because you are the one who raised him. Mr. Holden chuckled, his arm moving to scratch at the back of his neck. Yep, that's my boy. The ends of Cole's mouth gently bent up. He truly was his father's kid, in more ways than he even realized. They may be the only ones in the group, potentially the only guests at the entire club, all gussied up. Gussied? Is it gussied? Gussied up? I don't know, either or. Is it gussied? Wait, is it gussied? Wait.
Gussie.
Gussie. Oh, it is gussied. Oh, Gussie. They may be the only ones in the group, but at least they could now take the solace in one another. That looked to be good enough for them. Oops, I forgot. Wait, where's the mouse? All of the Blood family, as well as the honorary member, Cliff, Kyra, and Cove, headed out at the same time to the Cypress. It was to be perfect reunion. An impeccable, smart host greeted you on your arrival, smoothly leading the way to the set of tables reserved for your group. Once you'd all settled in, chosen drinks were poured into delicate glasses. The food would be coming out later, letting you soak up the atmosphere a little longer. Smiling, your parents faced a group of familiar faces, all gathered here together to share the special day with them. Mom reached over and took Ma's hand, clasping it between both of hers. Thanks for being here tonight, gang. Marrying this lady right here is the best thing I've ever done. And there's no one else I'd want to celebrate that with. Yes, we're so lucky. Not only do we have each other, but we've got a large and loving family through all of you. Around, you heard people saying "aww" and chuckling appreciatively at the comment. Lee had clasped her hands tightly in front of her, her eyes shining. Your eyes met Liz's misty ones, and the affection she had for her mom's carried over to you too. Aww! Oh, look at our moms! Look at our loving moms! Look at them! Anyways, you return to your attention towards the happy couple just as they leaned into a kiss, smiling all the while. The table responded with cheers and clapping, shouts of happy anniversary and other congratulations continuing even after they'd broken up. Oh, they're broken apart. Not broken up. No, they can't. What? Broken up? Where that? Mom beamed as she watched Ma giggle dreamily. The waiters reappeared, delivering delicious plates of food, and the dinner began in earnest. Both conversation and laughter continued to flow freely as the night went on, with the two families relishing the opportunity to be together once more. Eventually, after your hunger and thirst had been fully satisfied, the plates were cleared, and even began to draw to a close. Cliff and Kyra exchanged goodbyes with their family before heading out together. Cove gave his goodbyes to his parents while hanging back until your moms were ready to head off. You were getting a lift back with your moms. It was already late, so you discussed the possibility of going straight to the hotel rather than going back to the condo, but Cove had asked if they'd mind taking him back to the neighborhood. He'd wanted to visit a little longer. Your moms had happily agreed. Liz and Lee were feeling tired, so your mom swung by their hotels during the trip home, while you and Cove made the full journey back with them. Riding in the back seat of your mom's car with Cove felt more than a little nostalgic. As your eyes shifted over to him, his head resting on the window, it was hard to believe how much time had passed. Mom stretched as she got out of the car, smiling over her shoulder as she headed towards the house. Time to put my feet up. You joining us? Cove shook his head. No thanks. It's your anniversary. You don't have to entertain me. I'll take a walk. It's never any trouble to have you over, Cove. Let him do as he pleases, Lonnie, but you better not stay out too much later or there'll be trouble. Ma chuckled as Mom waggled her finger, her expression exaggeratedly severe as she reprised the role that, in truth, she'd never really played. Neither of your parents had been particularly harsh as you'd grown up. Ma joined in the act. Don't go too wild just because there's no school tomorrow. Laughing, they made their way inside, leaving you standing outside the dark street with Cove. You didn't even need to ask him why. You already had the answer for this. He wasn't ready for the day to end. Without a word, Cove began to stroll down the road. You walked alongside him. You'd known your destination long before you arrived in the dark, utterly deserted beach. Sorry, my brain kind of went off. There were no lights down here. Nothing but the moon and the stars for illumination. The only sounds were the gentle waves rolling in and out, the soft sound of the footprints you left in the sand. In other words, it was perfect. Cove stepped out into the waves without a word. He looked up at the sky with a smile, then tucked his head down and began to pull his fancy shirt off. Oh my! Whoa! Wowza! Awooga! Wow! 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 Down, Mel, down. No! Look at him! Oh my... He's so fun! He tucked over his head and lobbed it backwards, further up the beach and out of the reach of the waves. You looked away embarrassed. Cove slipped his dress pants off and tossed them back in roughly in the same direction as his shirt. He was down to just his polka dot boxer briefs. Whoa! 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 Sometimes you're really struck by the ways in which he was braver than his younger self. This was definitely one of those times. He never would have done this when you were both living on the street, but you also know he still wouldn't do it with anyone other than someone he spent all those years with. Is this a lot on YouTube? It's just swimming trunks. Cove waved further into the water until it came up to his chest. You unfastened your clothes and left them behind you, just as Cove had done moments before. You didn't even bother to see what they'd fallen before following him. Deeper into the sea. Cove grinned as you approached. I'm gonna be in so much trouble when my moms get troubles with my moms when we get back.
I guess.
Think fast. He splashed water at you as soon as the words had left his lips, giving you no time to prepare. The splash that caught you full on, leaving you his face, the way he looks, the way he's looking right now, entrenched. You splashed him back. Seeing what you were doing, Cove put his hands up for protection. It was no use. The water washed over him, leaving his hair soaked through. Cove sighed and then looked at you mournfully. Then the sudden shift in mood alarmed you, but those worries disappeared as he opened his mouth. We're still not merfolk. The world is cruel. You snickered. After a moment, Cove's mock sadness broke and he joined in. The two of you wound up drifting further down along the shoreline, chatting and enjoying a chance to be back on the beach, then had provided the backdrop for so much of your childhood. Eventually, a silhouette of structures appeared ahead. As you drew closer, you realized it was the old playground. Cove spotted it too and hurried towards it, dragging himself out to the water and heading into the park. Wet sand coated his feet and lower legs with every step, clinging thickly enough that it began to resemble a bizarre pair of boots. As you followed him, you wondered how many visitors this little park got these days. There were officially no children living in the neighborhood now. I forgot they're just swimming trunks, I swear, YouTube. Cove gazed at his surroundings in wide-eyed awe. He didn't care at all that he was soaking wet and dressed only in his underwear. Crouching, he gently pushed one of the child-sized swing seats, marveling at all. believe how tiny everything is. We're seriously small enough to use these? He shook his head, unable to fathom just how little you'd both been when you first met, then walked over to the monkey bars. Once, these had been the challenge for you. Now they were little more than a waist height next to Cove. Cove turned his— How tall is Cove? What the fuck? How tall is this man? Cove turned his back to the bars and hopped onto them with ease, sitting on them comfortably. He sat on the bars next to him. It was strange seeing adult Cove juxtap— What? What is this?
Juxtapose.
Juxtaposed? What the juxtaposed with the baby playground, but you took your own place on the structure. It was strange. Oh, what the— Oh, fuck, I forgot to click back into the tab. Excuse me. Oh shit, excuse me. My bad. I'm so sorry for that. My apologies. So exciting to Cove back when he was first arrived, and apparently it was to this day. Cove smiled eagerly as you approached, kicking his feet in the air happily. Bless you times two, thank you. Briefly forgetting the low vantage point until the tip of his toe scraped along the ground. He continued to swing his feet, but with a little more care. You thought it was adorable. In this moment, you were home. It just so happened to be the place you'd grown up. But really, anywhere you could be with Cove was that for you. He had a special place in your heart for so long, and so much of your life had been shared. You'd grown up on the same street, which had given you some common ground. But it went far beyond that. You had both chosen from a young age to share your life with each other. You wouldn't have it any other way. Here we go again. Here we are. The mood had shifted now. The funny, impulsive night beach trip with the spike of adrenaline that came from you playing in the water under the moonlight had settled into something quieter and more nostalgic. Cove leaned back, tilting his head towards the sky to admire the stars above. Too bad I wasn't able to bring my surfboard along for this. Cove shrugged dramatically, trying to lift the mood a little. The dinner was really nice. It was great to do all this. The smile he had when he spoke those words fell as quickly as it appeared. It went by so fast. We all came here for the party and it was over. Liz, Lee, our parents. We'll be going back to our own things now. But what else can you do except say it's okay? He shook his head, a wary look twinkling in his eyes. If I really never wanted to see things outside this neighborhood, I would have actually followed through with a pretzel plan. This place and these people, they're our foundation. It shaped who we are now, like making castles out of sand. I owe a lot to Sunset Bird. His eyes crinkled fondly, and Cole's voice was gentle when he spoke again. We had a good childhood, I think.
Seriously?
It's just how I feel. He shook his head, sighing heavily. All right. His smile took an uncharacteristically harsh turn. He had a feeling where this was going. We better get home before your dumb parents who don't know anything get mad. He just called my mom's dumb! He had to laugh at the half-hearted impression of the sour kid you'd once encountered in this very park. He chuckled along with you for a moment before I hope we don't get grounded. The jokes kept coming. It was very amusing to imagine that not only could our moms somehow ground you as a fully grown adult and independent adult, but their powers extended over Cove as well. As much as you were enjoying being here, Cove was right. You had to accept that you needed to go now. It was late, and your moms were still expecting to see you before you got a ride back to the hotel. You and Cove hopped down from the bars, landing easily with the ground only a short distance below. Before you could return, you had some close to a retrieve from the beach. You retrod the same path, following the footprints down to the shore. You left in the sand only a little while longer. Once you and Cove have scrounged up your abandoned clothes, you started to walk up the path home, side by side. Droplets of water. Oh my god! Droplets of water slipped down your skin and fell into the road as you made your way back to your mom's house. As you and Cold were still soaked and sandy from your earlier adventure, it was likely that you were leaving quite a trail in your wake. But you'd seen Cole's bedroom growing up. It was only natural for him. The air was slightly humid, already pleasantly dense with moisture that felt like a hug as it closed around you. Any damp footsteps that were left behind would take longer to dry in this weather. The size of your adventure might have been visible when the sun came up the next day. You hope so. You quite liked the idea of you and Cove leaving your mark on your hometown again, even if only for a little while. Despite being soaked through and mostly undressed, the balmy summer night prevented you from feeling any chill. You were entirely comfortable. In truth, you felt warm inside and out. The day had been so lovely spending time with friends and family, and your eyes drifted over to Cove. Cove, Holden, your boyfriend. Just seeing him brought a smile to your face. Cove turned to you, his eyes wide and adoring, and he bit his lip as he smiled shyly. You could tell that your words had touched him. I feel the same way, exactly. No, it's not. I feel the same. You gotta say it back. You gotta say it back. Insert the scene in Spider-Verse with the intercom. You gotta say it back. I love you, Mlem. I love you. He held your gaze a moment longer, looking straight at you as he spoke again.
I love you.
Wait, he actually did it. Kiss! Catching him by the hand, you stopped Cove in his tracks and pulled him closer, your heart somersaulted as your lips met. At this moment, with a quiet seaside town at rest, it felt like it was just the two of you in the world. Cove returned the kiss gently, cradling your head with his hand until you broke apart. Oh my! Oh my! Whoa! The gentle kissing while holding your... Well, it's not too late to come back to the light. Nope, it's far too late now. I'm gone. I've become one with the darkness. You were full of joy. All other concerns and the day-to-day stresses of normal life were squeezed out by it. All you could think of in the moment was how your life was wonderful. Every second and every day needed to end sometime, and the time had nearly come for tonight. You had to get at least some rest and bring it all to a close. And so, the two of you went inside to say goodnight to your moms, as well as clean yourselves up as best as you could. Your moms, both in pajamas, ready for their own sleep, hooted with laughter as you came inside. Disheveled, and damp, and their teasing continued until the car came to get you at the hotel. Cove stayed silent as he put his casual clothes on again, placing the formal ones back in the bag he brought them in. You'd given Mom and Ma plenty of material for a mock scolding, and you got a playful lecture about not getting into the water without bothering to change first. You just grinned at your partner in crime, feeling like a naughty kid again. It had been worth it. By the time you and Cove finally... Hi, Cass! Hello! Hello! How are you? By the time you and Cove finally dragged yourselves to the hotel room for the night, the sky had been dark for some time, and the lonely hotel hallways were quiet. The late hour made you feel a sense of fulfillment. You were really making the most of your trip. It was such an odd thought that it was almost over. You had settled into this new routine naturally. All the familiar streets and faces made everything easy to get used to. I'm good. I'm making a game. Oh my god, you are? Oh, that's awesome! Oh, nice! Oh my god, that's so cool! I hope it's going well! Yes! I will definitely play it. Yes, 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 please! I'd love to! I'd love to. The two of you drowsily shuffled past an ice machine and into your room. Cove set his phone on his bedside table, and you followed suit. You both started studying for the night. The hotel room was a welcome sight after your long day. You noticed Cove rub the back of his neck and yawn. His voice was quiet and distant. What was that? Whoa, 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 whoa. I hope the pet sitter is doing good. The wish wasn't exactly directed to you. It was just a sleepy thought that Cove had unleashed upon the world at large, but you still agreed. I hope so too. Cove still kept fish after all these years. Delightful, colorful things in huge aquariums. He spent a lot of time when he wanted to relax just watching them swim. You had also adopted a pet, who you loved dearly. Your home was a lovely place full of creatures that the both of you cared for. That was why, with both of you gone, it had been important to find a decent pet sitter. Cole's anxiety about leaving them hadn't subsided. Over the vacation, you had caught him in a few times texting the pet sitter and asking about his fish. They'll be okay. Cole turned his head to you, the nervousness still coming off despite his exhaustion. I know what you mean, but you chose that person for a reason. You trust them. But they're all fine. They just miss you. Cove smiled, appreciative of your comfort. You nodded in satisfaction. Mission accomplished. Cove yawned widely. He seemed confused at the magnitude of it. He groggily blinked at you. I think it's time for bed. You squinted at your wrist as if looking for a watch. Yeah, it's bedtime o'clock. The two of you got changed and brushed your teeth. In no time at all, both of you were cozy and ready to sleep. After that, you flopped into your side of the shared bed. Cove headed over to the side. You felt the mattress dip under his weight. Oh, excuse me. All this yawning has got me thinking of yawning, man. Oh, you tucked yourself under the covers, and Cove snuggled in close in the middle. You turned on your side to face him and scooted slightly closer. Your nose almost touched, and Cove watched you with a soft expression on his face. Cove spoke gently, his words like a lullaby. A lullaby. Yes, a lullaby. Good night, Cove. Night. Cove's eyes fluttered shut, and he let out a contented sigh. There was warmth from Cove's body next to you. He was right there. Whoa! Whoa! We're tired. Why are you feeling right now? You're exhausted. I don't want to make it feel uncomfortable again. I didn't like making it feel uncomfortable last time. Does this make him feel uncomfortable? If it does, please let me know. I want to pick this if it doesn't make him feel uncomfortable. Does this make him feel uncomfortable? I want to see where this leads. Not gonna lie. But if it's gonna lead to him feeling uncomfortable, I don't want to do it. Does it? Do I have to goggle it? Do I have to goggle? I gotta I gotta goggle it. Does it make him feel uncomfortable? Maybe I should goggle. I'll goggle it real quick. Our life. Where does this lead me? What does that do? Like, where does it lead me? It doesn't tell me. Guys. Well, I don't want it to be uncomfortable or anything. I'm gonna go by, and if it gives him comfortable, then I'm gonna go back. Cause what if it's a spicy scene? You know, what if it's a spicy scene? But what if it's an what if it's an uncomfortable one? I know, that's true. I could always backtrack. Okay, we're gonna backtrack. Alright, we're gonna speedrun this.
I mean...
Okay, go back. Back, I say, back. Back. Okay, it looks like it doesn't make uncomfortable. Okay. Your hand drifted over to Cove's, and you ran your fingers up his arm, across his shoulder, and finally to his face. Cove trembled at the gesture. You cradled his cheek, and his eyes opened slightly to peek at you unsure. Are you tired? As nice as it was to be near him, you understood he might not be in the mood. Yeah, you wouldn't mind if you both just went to sleep instead. Cove mumbled in the hotel blanket.
I mean...
Your eyes lifted. He flushed as a growing excitement replaced by previously held plans to rest. He leaned forward, lightly kissed his lips. He pecked you back affectionately. You could feel his smile and his affection. He rolled slightly so that he was fully on his side, and he had a better range of motion. With the new freedom of his arm, he reached over to stroke the back of your head. When the first kiss ended, you immediately started another, and then another. Cove stopped running his fingers down your hair to hold your head closer. Oh, why do you have to do this? No. What? I'm gonna do kiss him deeply. I feel like that's the safe route. You snaked your arms around Cove and pulled him closer to you as you could. You savored the heat of his You pressed into Cove as long as you could manage before needing air. He responded just as desperately. Oh my god, it's just like... Woo! Grabbed onto his shirt. You tugged and pulled close soft pajamas that stretched under your fingers. Cove started to run a hand through your hair again, sweetly carding through the strands. It was never-ending reassurance that he was here and he cared about you. Whoa! Whoa! You kissed down his neck? I'm not gonna grab it. What happens if I kiss down his neck? Uh-oh. Thanks for the new subscribe. I don't know if this is the right time you should be subscribing. You bent over Cove, the covers wrapping around you, and kissed all of the squirm under your... What? What? Whoa! What happens if I do this? What happens if I click? You need to get even closer. He twisted around your back and kissed the corner of your... What's with a nipple on his ear? I feel like this is getting too much. You pressed your chest against his and told his... In audible words against the... I'm not gonna grab his butt. I'm not grabbing his butt. That's weird. I feel like that's too far. Cove happily looked back at you before he bent his torso so that he was in a position more over you. He kissed you. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! I feel satisfied. That's fine. That is fine. We're gonna... Cole's shoulder as a sign of pause. He tilted his head in question. You smiled shyly. He got it. Shook against you lovingly and whispered, "We really shouldn't be staying up all night, huh?" You agreed wholeheartedly. Tomorrow would be a busy day, and this had been enough fun. You curled up comfortably in each other's arms, ready to actually settle down for the night. Your eyes fell closed some time after. You were not sure exactly when, only the fact that they were now too heavy to open. You felt a mixture of bitter and sweet emotions. You were happy to be here and sad it was ending. There was a relief that you could soon be in your own home again, but also wondering when you could return here. There were many more feelings swirling around in your head that hadn't even crystallized into thoughts yet. Paradoxically, You felt nice, but also confused. But then also nice from the confusion. In the back of your mind, you've realized that you really must be tired. Unsurprisingly, your exhaustion did not give you too much time to muse on your emotions. And what felt like seconds, you were already dreaming. Dreams dancing around your head became fragmented and faded until you couldn't remember a thing about them at all. You were growing more aware of the real world. Cove was gently waking. You woke up feeling enveloped by warmth. Humming happily, you felt Cove's fingers trailed up your arm. Giggling, you struggled to keep your eyes half open. You nuzzled into his chest, letting out a delighted sigh. The warmth of your breath sent a shiver through his body. You wrapped your arm around him, holding him there. Not that Cove minded too much. He happily held you back. The sleepy morning couldn't last too long, though. Eventually, you felt Cove's thumb rubbing circles on your shoulder, trying to ease you back awake.
It's okay.
My death came in the wrong time. But hi, hello, welcome. I don't want to leave either, but it's gotta be done. We have to get up, Lem. Once we get past today, we can spend as much time in bed together as you want, okay? Okay. Delighted, you nuzzled your cheek onto him again. You could feel his fingers aimlessly drawing squiggles and circles on your skin. Not as cute. Oh my god, thank you! I appreciate it so much. Thank you! Oh, right. This whole time I could have held you guys. Alright, now you guys get to experience it with me. I'll hold you while we experience it. I like the sound of that. You sat up fully with a big yawn, stretching your back, then your arms, and lastly your neck before accepting the day. The blanket fell to the side while you swung your legs over to the side of the bed. A part of it almost got caught on your foot, but you kicked it away. Cove slipped out of bed on the opposite side. Today would be your last day in Sunset Bird. The only thing you had planned was some family time in the old neighborhood. You figured you'd see where the day took you from there. Look at how fine he is! Ah! Yawning again, you glanced over at your clothes. There was just one more day to live out your breath. As I tip you, but Streamlabs only accepts PayPal. No worries, it's okay. You don't have to. It's not a priority or anything, but I appreciate it. It's okay, no worries. It's all good. I appreciate it so much, though. No worries. Keep the money to yourself. Buy yourself something nice. You know, buy that snack that you've been wanting to crave. You know, like those bag of chips that you probably saw that you haven't had in a while, or a candy that you had in a while, or that Lunchable that was sitting there that you haven't had in a while. I'm really looking forward to having my full wardrobe again. I don't want to have anything to clean up, but oh well. Hey, Cove, is there anything you'd like to see me in today? Yeah, is there anything you'd like to see me in? No, you'll look nice in whatever you wear. You always do. You knew from the tone of his voice that Cove was sincere, and his praise warmed your chest. A guy like him would be so nice. That I just found out. But what about the snacks? Think about the snacks. Wouldn't a snack sound 10 times? Always think wisely before you spend money on me. I feel bad. But I really do appreciate it. And I'm really, very thankful if you do. But always think, okay. I want you to think twice. You knew from the tone of his voice that Cove was... Oh, wait, I already... Alright, let's get going. Our families are waiting. Nodding, you and Cove swiftly finished getting ready in the small hotel room. As soon as you had your stuff together, you were ready to go, and you were off. During the ride there, you and Cove decided to visit his dad's house this first time. When you got dropped off, Cove eagerly hopped out into the street with his eyes locked on his father's condo. Your gaze fell on your boyfriend. He stood in the middle of the street where you grew up together, while the summer sun made him shine. Though he was the brightest light in your eyes no matter what. What happens if I don't propose? Okay, the McDonald's toys are ass. Like, I'm so disappointed with how ass McDonald's toys have become. They used to be so cool, but now they're awful, and like, they're so simple. They're literally the same toy, just painted differently. I find that really sad. Anyways, if I say it's a beautiful thing, will Cove propose to me? You wouldn't give up a single second of your time with Cove. Meeting him there, you looked forward to how today's chapter would unfold. Cove strode up to his front door and casually flung it open without bothering to knock once again. You followed at his side as he poked his head in. You closed the door behind you both. Hello? You found Cliff and Kyra in the kitchen getting breakfast ready. Kyra was cutting an apple while Cliff was watching a frying pan sizzle. Your parents waved from across the room. Close parents waved from across the room, not straying from their tasks. For the hosts are too basic now. I know, it's so sad. Like, it's so sad. It doesn't even make me happy knowing that I can't even get a good toy out of it. They should do a Sanrio. I would love to see Sanrio toy collection, because then I'd get lots of toys. My sister came in. I had one of her eyebrow pluckers. Sorry. Also, I would be happy to buy those to this with Riz leans against door frame and falls. Sorry. Whenever I see with Riz, that's what I think of, like someone leaning against a door frame and falling. Chicken nuggets, McNuggies. It's okay. Good morning, you two. Yeah, morning, and hello to you. I hope you two slept well.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I'm so sorry. Only get Burger King nowadays, dude. Like, fast food costs too much now. You can't even. It's not even like anything. Like, buying fast food now is literally equivalent to going to KFC and buying a full like dinner meal, because KFC costs like $60 for like a full meal of like the chicken and everything. But if you go to McDonald's now, it used to be a lot cheaper. Like, it used to just be $30 for as much as we got. Like, oh, excuse me. But now it's nearly $50 too. Here where I live, I think it's expensive here too, but I barely have it. I had it like a month ago, I think. Everything is expensive. I know everything's getting more and more expensive. That I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up homeless one day. Thanks for swinging by. You're more than welcome to join us for breakfast here. If you haven't already eaten, of course. We haven't yet, though even if we had, there's always room for more. Kyra chuckled. She put down the knife she had in her hand so that all her attention could be on her son. You're still my giant growing baby boy. Mom, please. Kyra didn't pay Cove's whining any mind. Instead, she put a finger up to her lips as she thought. My throat made a funny noise. Her eyes on you, then glimpsing towards the window. I wonder, do you think your family's eaten yet, Mlem? I'm not sure. Cove and I came over here first. Your eyes flickered over to the clock on their oven. Given the time, your moms may have eaten, or they could have been having a slower morning. It was oh my god, I'm stuttering. It was a coin toss either way. Well, give them a call. They should come over. Cove nodded and a sage expression on his face. Maybe making them breakfast is the least we can do after how much food I ate at their house growing up.
Right.
True, bud. Very true. All right. Mummy, they want you to come over to eat breakfast. They said we wouldn't go without a fight. Wendy's doesn't even know if we can. What is Wendy's though? There's nothing like that. Wait, really? It's like it's like McDonald's, but a little bit more fresher and a little bit more nicer looking, I would say. I would say. They say it's fresh, you know, like fresh stuff, but it's fast food, so I fucking doubt it. A call connected. Tap the button. You figured it would be easier if everyone could hear what's going on. You hear a familiar static.
Hello.
Hello, Mlem. It's nice to hear from you. Hey, Ma. Good morning. I'm across the street right now, and Cole's family wanted me to invite everyone to breakfast. Do you want to come over? That sounds delightful. Pamela and I can do that. Liz and Lee should be able to make it too. Would that be fine? Cliff took a step forward and spoke loudly so that his voice could be picked up. It definitely would be. The more the merrier.
Marvelous.
We may have gone together for dinner last night, but there's no law that we can't do it again for breakfast today. Enjoy the company while you can, is what I think. Ma giggled and you could hear someone rustling over the line. Thank you, I'll let them know and we'll be right over. Cliff gave a thumbs up. Cove shook his head with amusement. Dad just gave a thumbs up. I'm telling you since you can't see him over the phone. Kyra snorted and Ma's laughter rang out, filling the kitchen. Cliff switched the thumbs up again instead to scratch the back of his head. Wait, $4 for nuggets, burger, and fries are expensive. That seems so cheap. Wait, what? Where's this $4 deal coming from?
See you.
Well, sounds like we'll see you soon. Mm-hmm. Goodbye for a little while. You could hear her smile from her voice. Bye, Ma. You ended the call with a satisfied tap of the red button. Cliff's eyes wandered around the space. We better get cooking.
Sounds good.
I can help. Me too. No way. Your guest. Kyra and I have got this. She grinned and there was something playful in the twist of her lips.
Right.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Cliff. I've been in your spot before. There's no choice but to accept it. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hello. Yeah, it seems cheap for $4 for chicken nuggets, a burger, and fries. That's it. That's like a good deal. What? What? Is that a what? Hello, how are you? How's everyone in chat doing so far, though? How's everyone doing so far? How are my lovely, beautiful blossoms doing so far? Cove sighed from the sparkle in his eyes. You could see that he was entertained. Fine, I'll just hang out over here, I guess. Good. Cove walked over to the living room and gestured at the couch. You both took a seat, getting a comfortable spot for... Sorry, my mom texted like right there. You don't have a $4 for 4 at Wendy's, were you? Doing great now that I met you. Wow, flirting, I see. I barely go to Wendy's, and I kind of live in the middle of, like, everything is far from me, so I don't... Sorry. Reading is like reading a bedtime story to me. Cole walked over to the living room, gestured at the couch. You both took a seat, getting a comfortable spot to wait for food in the family. Cole tilted towards his parents with his chin and shook his head with a gentle smile, silently asking if you could believe this. All you had was a silent shrug. They're all so good looking. They're all so good looking. Hi, Mo. Hi, guys. Hello. Welcome. Cole kept a careful watch on his parents' culinary progress and teasingly kept a running commentary. Oh, Dad added another pinch of salt. I wonder if that was a good idea. Cliff had to raise his voice to project over the living room. He sounded very amused. It's funny that you, of all people, are commenting on my salt usage. We were both born and raised in salt water. Besides, I'm sure you remember back when you were about 12 and tried to make... Cole flushed slightly, but his smile remained as bright as ever. Do you really want to start talking about cooking mistakes, Dad? Because I remember a lot of things too. Like, what about the chowder that was supposed to be a pie? I sure hope you guys are. It's been nervous if you guys aren't. Cove and his family were quite a show to listen to. You chimed in occasionally, but mostly you provided a laugh track. Eventually, there was a rhythmic knock on the door. That's them! He said it loudly for his parents' benefit. You nodded and got up to greet your family. When you opened the door, surprisingly, there were no moms. Wait, what? Terry stood in front of Miranda at his side. Derek waved from behind them. Hey, buddies. Begin to see you two before you left. The plan would have been to go over to Mlem's house next if you weren't here. Luckily, you two aren't too hard to find.
What he said.
And hi! Sorry, I'm reading chat. But yes, welcome, welcome. Make sure you read the rules and follow them accordingly. Just be a natural human being and be kind, and yes, it's all normal stuff. Just don't be an asshole. Pretty hard, pretty simple task to do. Good morning, Mel. Good morning. Rise and shine. Get ready for the day. Brush your teeth if you haven't. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. Eat some food. Yeah. Cove burst into happy laughter. His brows were in high surprise, not unlike how he looked after unwrapping his nice present. Wow, thanks for coming. Hello? Kyra's voice carried through the house from the kitchen. Cliff likewise projected. Great, the whole gang will be here. You heard the sound of cabinets opened, shut, and pan clattered and faucet turned on.
Are we interrupting something?
I forgot how deep this dude... Is it morning where you live? No, it's actually evening right now. I think it's sunset time. Almost, where I'm at. It's almost... Oh wait, it's cloudy. I was gonna say it's almost golden hour here. Don't need no light to see you shine. It's your golden hour. Okay, anyways. My parents, sister, and cousin are coming over for breakfast. They should be here in a few minutes. Yep, but my dad always makes a ton of food anyways, so it's no problem for you guys to join. Cove waved off their concerns before pausing with a thoughtful hum. The only real problem is, do we have enough places for all these people to sit? He peered back into the house and started counting the dining room table, chairs, and bar stools. 5, 6. Cliff interrupted when Cove began trying to use his fingers to connect the different chairs to different guests.
No worries.
Mr. Holden's voice is so nice too. Some people can squish together on the sofas. They'll be fine. This really is gonna be a party. Well, I'd be happy to accept the invitation.
Yeah.
You'd have to be crazy to skip out on this.
Thanks.
Thank you for making room. Sorry, I felt something in the back of my throat. We're really glad that you guys came. Your 3 friends finally piled into the house before they had a chance to settle in. The doorbell rang. Only Miranda had to sit down.
Right.
Now that has to be them. On Earth. Yes. Don't make sure not to get too personal with chatters and ask stuff like that. Even if it's just like the country or anything, if they want to stay private and such. So for privacy reasons, don't ask other chatters anything like that. If that makes sense. You know. I just want to say ahead of time before, you get timed out or anything. Make sure not to ask chatters any personal questions like age, where they live, what and everything, even if it's just like the country they're living in or the state they're living in. It's a lot of personal information and such, so please keep in mind of others and such. People laughed as he walked by over to the door and opened it up. He was right this time. It was your parents, Liz and Lee, all crowded on the front steps. They squinted into the house and were surprised at how many greetings were said. The sheer force of hellos were impressive. Hello, 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 hello. How did they beat us here? How early did Mlem call you? We're literally across the street. Terry snorted at your sister's confusion. He seemed quite pleased with himself. We were surprised. We called ourselves.
Cool.
Very cool. Cliff smirked as he adjusted the settings of the tow stop. It's a little more crowded than expected, but we're making it work. Did this one have a name you're holding? It's too cute. You mean the little guy? It's you guys. This little guy is you guys. I'm holding you. This is a little mascot for you guys. This is your mascot, chat. If you're new to the channel, this is you guys. Ah! Whoa! Forgot where I adjusted it at. Oopsies. This is you guys. A little chat mascot. You guys even got a little tail. And you guys have a little sprout. And you guys have a cherry blossom around you guys. So you guys can act like a big lion. Even though you guys are just cute little cats. Yeah. You guys are my beautiful blossoms. I tend to call you guys more beautifuls than a blossom. Because I think beautiful matches more than blossoms. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of nicknames. But I like calling you guys beautifuls. My lovely beautifuls. Sometimes I say beautiful blossoms. Sometimes I say beautifuls. That's what you guys are. Anyways, Cove led the final group to complete the picture inside, and they took a chance to greet you, along with everyone else. When the excited energy buzzing around the table started to calm, you had a second to truly appreciate this view, the most important people in your life all together again. It still felt too good to be true to have everyone here. And then you noticed that Kyra stood back up. She clapped her hands once in a satisfying smack. I love the colors for that. Yeah, my theme is pink and yellow, so you guys have to also be pink and yellow too. Pink, yellow, and white are my themes. I hate to interrupt, but I thought you'd want to know that the food's done cooking. Yippee! Food! Looks like a little sapling. Yeah! Hello, Hoyen. Hello, hello. Cliff crossed the floor to place a pile of silverware on the table. Then he dropped stuff on the other surfaces around the rest of the living room. When he was done, he gestured towards the food.
Okay.
The plates are in the kitchen. The plates are in the kitchen. Serve yourselves and sit wherever you like. The guests happily formed a line and the meal was steadily passed around. Before long, each person claimed a seat in the Holden living room area. Some at the table, others on the kitchen island, and some situated at the couches. Conversation trickled across the various clusters of friends as everyone dug in. Cove finished his plate in record time with a pleased sigh. He put his fork down and surveyed the room. This is really cool. Just how we're getting to do this kind of thing. Sorry, I like burped. Excuse me. The little face he makes looks like a flying cat in a fairy tale. So cute. Milim. Milim. It's going milim. 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 I'm battling my... Please rest. If it's late for you, please rest. You know, sleep is always good for you. Please rest. I like this too, Cove. I hope we'll be able to make this happen again. Of course! There'll always be more reasons to get the gang back together in the future. Yup, the two of you might even be dare to celebrate your yearly anniversary. Every year. The smirk on Liz's face grew wider as your moms giggled at her teasing. Ma shook her head, chuckling softer now.
Josh. True.
Honestly, we just might. You made a good point. It does come around every year. You should. Seriously, you deserve a big celebration for your magical day. The kids are right. You've got a lot of people who want to appreciate you. You've got to give them a chance. We're going to... Yes, please sleep. If you work 2 jobs, exhaustion, please rest. The VOD will always still be up. You can always come back. Please take a rest. It's true. I know I have a lot to thank you for. There were more nods of agreement around the room, and your moms took each other's hand for support. Neither were expecting so much encouragement. We'll think about it. She'll think about it, and I'll tell Lonnie to stop thinking so hard if she doesn't agree. Pam.
Good.
Good job, Mom. Now that that's settled, let's continue to enjoy this perfect gathering. I'm going to enjoy your food. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, whatever time you are. Remember you're beautiful. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye. Remember you're beautiful. Actually, I want to know who else here. Want to know who else being here would make this extra perfect? Where's this gonna lead to? I'm just gonna say agreed. There's a playfulness at Kyra's stare as she scanned the room. She slowly placed her index finger on her chin. Now that I think of it, there's something I haven't done in a while. Eyebrows are raised at Kyra's incomplete thought. She was virtually urged to continue. Kyra didn't hesitate. Looking through all the photos Cliff has here! Wouldn't that be fun for all of us? Interesting notion, but, what? Why would you say that? Practically all those photos are of me.
Very cute.
And that's why! Embarrassing my baby boy is just one of the perks of being a mom.
Much to Ko's dismay, his mom was thoroughly entertained at his outburst. She winked in your direction. Meanwhile, Cliff eagerly stood up with a wave of proud affection for his son, and completely missed Kyra's teasing intent.
Oh.
I think that's a great idea. Anyone else interested in these pictures?
Yeah.
I am!
Lee shot her hand up before Cliff could even take a full step. Terry and Miranda snuck each other a glance before nodding with matching grins. That sounds swell.
That's fantastic.
We don't talk about that. That would be lovely, Cliff. Mom tried to hide her amusement behind her hand, but couldn't stop the snicker that slipped out. Oh boy. I want to see them. It's been so long since I saw Whoa, I stuttered. It's been so long since I last saw Little Cove. Mr. Holden met your gaze with a soft look that told you that he was thinking the same thing. I bet this will be a goldmine of entertainment. Cove buried his face in his hands and sighed slowly. His shoulders deflated in defeat. Fine, we could take a look. Everyone happy with picture time?
Yay! Yes!
They both excitedly raised a fist in victory. Smaller cheers from your friends and family worked their way around the room, and even bounced up to your feet excitedly. Mr. Holden flipped up his faded album of physical pictures. He held it up to his face, the corners of his eyes crinkled, and though the book covered much of his face, you were certain he was smiling fondly. But he didn't keep it to himself long. Laying the family album on the dining table, you and the rest of the party gathered around to get a peek. Oh, look at baby Cove! I'm glad you're enjoying. Look at it! Oh my god, look at this little baby. Oh! 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 Look at the little baby! Oh! He's grown so much. You looked unimpressed. How precious. Oh. Zorro? At that, Cove's palate twisted into a shy smile. Your grin widened as you reached out to grab his forearm. Do you even realize that you were the cutest baby? People say that about every baby. His answer was mumbled and accompanied by a roll of his eyes. Pressing your lips onto a hard line, you firmly shook your head. You even lightly reached up and pinched Cove's cheeks. I have eyes, and they've concluded that you were the most adorable baby. Cove slightly swatted your words away, despite his attempts to deny your claims. There was a happy shine in his whole demeanor. After breakfast in the photo showcase, everyone decided to stick around. Hanging around Mr. Holden's house turned into taking a walk around the neighborhood, and then for lunch you switched over to your mom's condo. It was a really good time, enjoying each other's company. But eventually, the sun began to set, and there was nothing else to delay your friends and family from going home. Inside your mom's house, the home you had been raised in, the group was taking their time saying goodbyes. It was tough. For you, your family, your friends. You knew what was weighing on the mood. It might be some time before you'd see one another again. Oh my gosh. It was a pleasure having you all here, and you're welcome to come around again, anytime. Ma wrapped an arm around Mom with a light chuckle. Mom leaned her head gently on her wife, and they both beamed.
I appreciate
it. We're leaving our moms again. Absolutely. And we're all adults with our own hectic lives, but we appreciate the time taken to visit. Snorting, Liz crossed her arms. She leaned in one hip out to the side while her lips curled teasingly. You make it sound like this was such a struggle. Some of these people still live here, and it was a vacation for everyone else. Even so, it was very thoughtful, and I hope everyone has a safe trip home. Kyra clapped her hand on Cliff's shoulder. He was puzzled as she leaned in so he could hear her. That means you too. It's dangerous crossing the street. Remember to look both ways. That's That's I have veterinary as well, but you're doing great. Thank you. I stutter a lot, and my tongue gets tongue-tied pretty fast. I don't mean to, but it's fine. It's fine. Hey now. Yeah. Good luck with all the important grown-up things I'm sure you have to do when you're all out of here.
Definitely. I'll give updates next time as something exciting happens or something lame so I can vent about it.
How nice. I'm glad Lee won't be forgetting the little people.
Never ever.
I'll keep in touch too.
Very nice.
You better.
Would give out 2 minutes. I love voice acting. My goal one day is to hopefully voice act in something, even as a side character or something. That's like one of my biggest goals in life. If that happens, oh my god, I would be so happy. Well, me and Randy aren't going far, so we can keep an eye on the town for the rest of you. Nothing will get past us.
Right. We'll make sure everything is okay. No need to worry at all.
Thanks.
That's kind of you. It's so deep. Miranda and Terry gave each other pleased smiles, already committing to their self-appointed task. Derek scratched the back of his head, wearing a pensive look. It's always sad when I have to leave this town. It happens too often, but at least there will be people looking out for Sunset Bird. That makes me feel better about it. After a pause, Mr. Holden gave younger folks a thumbs up.
Great.
That's all great. You've got a lot to be proud of, and a lot to be looking forward to.
Well said, Cliff. I'm thankful that I've been privileged to witness the growth of whoa. I'm thankful that I've privileged to witness the growth you've undergone over the years. You've matured beautifully.
Cove was touched by his parents' words and struggled to come up with something to follow. Yeah, it's been good seeing everyone. No one had taken a step yet, but he couldn't put this off any longer. It was time to say goodbye.
I'll miss you.
Oh, thanks.
We'll miss you too, kiddo. Very much. Mom wrapped you in a big hug, then you felt the weight of another person in arms you really just got pulled into. We'll be back soon enough that you'll be kicking us back out. I don't think that'll happen. I'd like to see you try to push it, though. It'd be funny. She held you both tighter for another moment before letting go. Afterwards, there was more sniffling and hugs, a lot of hugs, then people starting trailing out to the street, seeing off others. Your friends and family got into their cars and left the neighborhood. By the time things had fully settled, you realized the sun had set. Earlier, you and Cove decided on having a car pick you both up. Neither of you wanted to bother your parents after such a long day. It would be a little while longer before it would be there, though. It was the right choice, as both set parents shot you worried looks. The four seemed ready to call it a night. It didn't take either you or Cole very long to assure them that it was okay to head home and go to bed. With one more round of goodnight and goodbyes, your families returned to the condos. Then, the only person left on the street were you and Cove. Oh, only people, whoops. Cove closed his eyes, humming happily while he waited for it to pass. He stared up at the sky. Cove's hands were in his pockets and his shoulders relaxed when he caught your attention with a tilt of his head.
So...
His voice! Can you guess what I'm thinking? Well, at the moment you were in the neighborhood you grew up and together with someone time to spare. Oh. You rolled your shoulders back and pretended to crack a few of your knuckles. An amused look fidgeted on Cove's face while he observed you silently. Could you perhaps be thinking that the fireflies are out now?
Right.
Do you want to go to Poppy Hill before we leave?
Always.
There was an eager bounce in your step as Cove crossed over towards... Oh shit! Is it almost over? Uh-oh. I have to speedrun this because I want to chat with you guys for a little bit at the end because my event is about to happen for Valorant and I have a Discord set up for it. Oh shit. Step aside, you said, okay, we're gonna speedrun this. Cove sight could suddenly see him across the hill away from the stars and eventually called his attention and there was a dazzling brightness and then there was his expression that quickly morphed into something more mischievous. Want to catch one? Yes, we're putting the curves over the bottle of the fireflies and out of his nose. Oh, it's on! Kicking up a bit of the leaves. Okay, we're chasing fireflies. We're chasing fireflies. Did you get one? You escaped into the next target. We're front. the next one. I can feel it. Unless you're feeling my future, Vector. Alright, we're still chasing. Pursuit of fireflies. Everything is holding out. The way the firefly would, yes, and then it goes by. The fire, it's really relief. Everything good. Everything. I think you're right. We're going. We're what? A Valorant event? Yeah, I had one set up 2 weeks ago, I think. It's kind of too late to join now because I already have everything set up and everything ready to go. But for the next one, I hope you're able to join and everything, or whenever I decide for anyone to queue up with me on my alt account for fun, for Discord, just for people to join in. I do plan on doing a Gartic Phone, Scribble.io, and Among Us collab, or Goose Goose Duck because that's proximity chat. So expect that sooner or later when I have the time and once I get my schedules all figured out. But yeah. You have a very tiny firefly. I do? Okay, there was a firefly on his head. That didn't last very long. It flew away. That's too bad. I remember the tiny half forever. Me too. Yes, would you consider doing a monthly Valley event one day? Maybe, if I have enough people join. But I don't think I would do it monthly because I feel it maybe every couple of months, if anything. It's strange not living here. Okay, we're getting sappy. It's sad. We're moving on. We're both are... His laugh is so cute! Alright. We're reminiscing. We're visiting how little I knew. You were so innocent. What did you used to tell your mom about me when you were on those trips this year? Oh, yeah. What did you used to tell your mom? Honestly, I've been wondering about this since I was 13. Kyra always has details about herself. You never said a word either.
Well...
We finally get to know. We finally get to know what he's talking about. He always talked about us to his mom, and we never knew why. Grew smaller. Mostly, I just tell her about the times we'd hang out, but I knew it's pretty enthusiastic when I was because you are someone really special to me. I admitted that too much to my mom. Not sure if I used the word crush exactly, but she knew that you were the highlight of my young life. And look at that, you still are. And, so cute, so cute. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for my favorite star. Okay, it's just fucking so. Okay, I love fireflies. You don't love me. I'm kidding. Every time I see them, it makes me happy and it makes me think of you. Oh, that's so sweet. Anyways, okay, speed run. The fireflies. I have something on my side of a real self. Are you gonna propose to me? He faced you completely. His eyes. He cove opened his hand. Firefly set it towards. He wholeheartedly offering to you. Significant gesture wasn't lost, and he confessed what flyers truly meant to him. Why speedrun? My time is almost up. I have something to do for Discord. I want to chat with you guys before my event.
I remember.
Sorry. Today, I'm purely happy with September. Even though I had a good days back then, I'm guessing you can remember that. He chuckled softly to his own. Sure, Lizzie got the bossy near the end, but that didn't matter. And I wanted to run around playing around, and the child wanted to, and I wanted to. It was 6 years. It's so cute! Firefighters don't overread, considering all the things that was last fight, even someone was wonderful, how are you feeling? I think you wouldn't be able to have you. Joke's on you. I watch anime in Japanese, so I mean in sub, so I can read this pretty fast. He listened to everything I said, it means a lot. I'll never forget it. This was a certain really. You know what? I wanted to tell you what it said here.
Always like this. I'm always like this.
Got speed run down! That's a little plan. I'm gonna propose and calls on it. It's pretty like for me to do yourself. Never get going and it's my turn. Just what I want to say tonight. I promise I'd always be. I promise I'd always be there whenever you wanted. I meant it then. I still mean it now. I mean it more than ever. Cove? He may not have said it directly, but we've gotten to mention clear that he was shouted it from the rooftops, and Cove knew it. Hand over mouth, Kozak shook despite talking straight. His body gone rigid. He once trying to force his joints to actually move. You remained locked in place, tuning in your own self-esteem emotions. Ultimately, Greasy dropped down with a muted. His head hung low in embarrassment. And he clung onto your dress from falling from entirely. It was an apology, and he carried himself met director to the ground. He still couldn't move from his spot. Keeping a tight grip, he was able to awkwardly lift a leg lower so that he was. And then he looked at me with his eyes blue and my sea. He released a claw. Oh my god!
I love you.
You mean so much to me. I don't even know what life would be like without you. Tears fell heavily and the words dropped as painful. I'm sorry. Have I been able to handle the major romantic moment in our relationship well? You don't have to answer that. I never made things easily, especially when growing up. Life was so hard for me, so I made things harder for everybody else. But you were always so good to me, no matter what. And I've loved you for so many years. He continued to sniffle. Thank you for being my girlfriend. Thank you for defending me from Jeremy. Thank you for never minding when I sneaked out to your house through the window. Thank you for giving me a piggyback ride despite me being so tall. Thank you for letting me share the loft instead of having to sleep on the floor when we were on the trip with our families. Cole's eyelids squeezed shut. Cove's outpouring of gratitude accumulated in the final piece of appreciation.
Thanks for waiting for me.
He took in a slow, controlled breath, and then, without stuttering or stopping, he said the words out loud.
Will you marry me?
I don't have a debut. I already debuted. Huh? What do you mean? I already debuted. I debuted July something. I debuted July something already. What do you mean? I debuted this model July something. And I debuted 2 years ago. What do you mean? What? There's nothing more that I'd want. Yippee! Oh my god. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know that's all I've been saying this whole time. I'm sorry, but just thank you for being here, for being the one I get to be with. Oh, sorry. No worries. No worries. I was just lost on what you meant by debut. You never have to apologize for that. Then you got down on the grass and kissed him. He kissed you back lovingly. Yeah! Yippee! Finally! Yes! Oh my god! I do have a ring too, if you want that. He has a ring? Cove chuckled blushed. How are we gonna tell people? We're leaving early in the morning. It's really late now. Should we try talking before we go? Two of you put your hands together.
Maybe.
We could try calling your mom's house phone if they hear that. It'd mean they haven't really gone to bed yet. If they don't, then probably won't even know who rang. Calling their cell phones might wake them up. I could do the same for dads. Yeah, that could work.
Hello.
Blythe residence, how can I help you? Hi, Mom. It's me. I wanted to see if you were awake without bothering you if you'd gone to bed. Yeah? Who would raise such a thoughtful person? I'm impressed. She chuckled. Lonnie, Len's on the phone. She spoke again. She's coming on over. Okay, I can't see her high blood family. Dad. Okay, we got. That's okay. Putting it off in the. Cove got it exactly. We're getting married. Mel and I are engaged. Yes! I'm proud of you. Yes, we're good. Everything's going together. We're getting engaged. We're married. I mean, we're engaged now.
Seriously?
Yes, everyone's happy. Everyone hears it. You're doing good, positive, and then we're okay to go. But once they said their piece, it didn't take long for the friends to congratulations on the engagement. Terry agreed on you guys are in suspicion. Yes, okay. I have 5 minutes left. For the two of them, not difficult at all. Thank you so much, everyone. That means a lot. Is what else is family for? Okay, we're good to go. Wait, what do you say?
Well,
We have to go to Hell's Hana. We don't have to go. So you're right, but still, it's hard. So I'm just not ready to.
don't worry about it.
Oh. Come to the house. Okay, everything. How long are you the rest of the night since we're closing out? We were asleep at a drifting under the logic of the consciousness as you and there was. Good morning, Lemon. The great brought a smile and risen after all. Well, it's my dream come true. Cold laughter, your response. Sorry. The world slipped in fulfill. You flicker. Kiss! Choo! Propping yourself to kiss. I'm guessing you woke me up for a reason. Are you gonna let me know? Well, this is our last to hear. We might still be asleep, but if we got to know the neighborhood, do you want to? Of course. Okay. Okay. I have to speed run this. Yeah, one more. Not again. This is a kiss for the best of the similarities, condos around it. And yeah, it's a cocky fence. He's so gorgeous. He's so pretty. And so I'm getting itchy. And so, let's get in the water with him. We were splashing. It was good enough. We struck. Oh my god, it's fast. Yes, it is. Oh, wait, look, he's holding our hand. Oh. Pressing and pulsing his head is a second. I'm glad we could be in the music for the back.
I'm so glad.
Oh. Would have wanted any other life. I'm most grateful for meeting you too. Content with eyebrows and the rolling in the street.
You.
I love you. This is too much. Yippee! Okay. Oh God, I have 2 minutes. No. It's up to you. You're giving me too much power. Shaking. Whoa! Whoa there, Mlem. Yeah, let's see. Let's race. Let's have fun. We did it! We finished. You can come back again, always. We have finished. Yay! We actually finished this time. What a wonderful game! What a wonderful game! I love this game. One of my favorites so far, if I do have to say so myself. I really like this. I like how much it talks about other stuff that, you know, is pretty much the norm for what should be talked about and what should be happening. But, you know, it was pretty awesome. Anyways, hi guys. Hi, how was your oh no, I only have a minute. Okay, I won't be able to chat with you guys, and it's the last stream of the week, but I'll see you guys next week, okay? Next week I'm starting season 2 of The Walking Dead. Please know that it's viewer discretion is advised, so you do have to be aware that it has dark content in it. So please be aware when I do those streams. I think I'm gonna do our stream next week, but I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow. I'll see you guys next week, okay? I hope you guys like the stream. Please please, if you haven't already, please active stream helps boost the channel to the algorithm and shows YouTube that, hey, I'm an active streamer, where most of you have come from, which I hope you guys have come from. If you guys want to, after the stream ends, please comment. It also helps boost my channel algorithm and shows that you guys are also active, and it shows that you guys are awesome people for supporting me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, or whatever time it is where you are. Remember, you're beautiful. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye-bye. Bye!